Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to KwingsLetsPlays and another Jurassic Park Classic Collection stream. You guys were able to get the previous stream up to 200 likes. I don't know how you did that. So today is going to be the special, not full playthrough, but we'll see how far we get, because Jurassic Park II on Super Nintendo was actually much longer. So this could end up being like a several stream thing. In order to continue this stream series, to see an interest, 150 likes is required. So if you guys are able to swing that, or get that, that would be awesome. I have a little bit of a headache today, I don't know why. So your stream schedule is a little bit off. It's going to be different today. Jurassic Park, the final stream of Super Mario RPG, and a special giveaway winner stream for Spider-Man as promised. It is after Thanksgiving. We did say Thanksgiving would be the winner for Spider-Man would be revealed. So that's happening tonight. And then Amber will be doing Droggle's stream. I will have to go to sleep because I have a headache. So Richard Taylor's stream will be once again on Saturday. So Breath of the Wild will be tomorrow. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's get back into the world of Jurassic Park. And see what happens. So we're not doing the Genesis version because that's a buggy mess. We're not doing this one because that's stressful. And we're not doing the portable one because that's basically the same thing as the game that we just beat. So we're going with Jurassic Park II, which is pretty cool actually. This is probably the best game on the collection. Where? My wife is being weird. I have a headache. Okay. So yeah, like I said, guys, if you're able to get 150 likes, there will be a part 2.
You have a headache because you're breaking the law. You're being too handsome.
My head hurts. Alright, so Amber's gonna do the newsletter, and I'm gonna, we didn't do the newsletter yesterday because it was Thanksgiving, but the newsletter will happen today. So. Alright, so, you would just do time code start. And remember, guys, likes and shares bring people in. I see there's only about 30 people here, so it's gonna be very hard to get another stream of this with only 30 people. Jurassic Park 2.
To start, 258.
Yep. Intro, 3 minutes start. No Zelda.
I can take that over here. Okay.
Ocean!
An ocean of trouble.
I mean, they made all the... Zelda, don't! Doggone it. This is...
He does it every time.
This is why this computer's gonna break, Zelda. Don't you... No! Don't jump back over!
Look, I do not have... Where's her water thing?
I don't know.
Oh, it's over there.
InGen must be eliminated.
We're gonna need it to
I will
scare
have
her.
control of Jurassic Park. As we speak, my men are on their way. Have your scientists ready to go immediately? Prepare for drop! Go! Go! Go!
Jurassic Park 2.
I like the dinosaur roaring.
It's actually, yeah. So the chaos continues. This is not a sequel to Jurassic Park, the movie. This is a sequel to Jurassic Park, the game. Which I'm really surprised they didn't bring back Alan for this one. But they didn't. They're like, no, we're not doing Grant again.
Cute.
Yeah.
Is everything all right?
Trying to make it 12, but I can't see.
It's
There
like,
it is. Okay, here we go. Oh wait, first I want to do the options because I'd like to get pretty far if I can. Okay, we're going easy. It's not really going to matter much, but There we go. Here are the buttons. Dodge is X, and jump is Y. B. Shoot is Y. Weapon toggle. So it's like Contra. I don't know what equal is. No idea what equal is. Okay. Zelda, do not. I swear. Okay, so here it gives us a stage select option. We got Raptor Attack, T-Rex, Carnage, Blockade, High something, Seek and Destroy, Protect the... whatever. So we're doing Raptor Attack. This is the first one. The raptors are attacking your headquarters. Unfortunately, due to the large raptor population in the building, to destroy them individually would take too long. Gassing them is the only realistic solution. Find the building security system, activate the gas, and then get out before the gas takes its effect on you. That's right. So my name is Arnold, and I am a new employee at the Jurassic Park Extermination Squad. I'm a commando for hire. Here I am, ready to do this. For whatever reason, my gun has unlimited ammo. Take that. You've been terminated. With extreme prejudice. Once again, you're extinct. Yeah, so the guy looks like Arnold, so... if his hair was just a little bit lighter, it would have sold it. It would look like, oh yeah, this dude looks like he's part of Commando or something. Time for you to go sleep forever, Dino. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so, bar none, this is the... whoa, this is the best game on the collection. It's a shame we didn't get the light gun games, but oh well. You will go down. Get down to my way. I'm going in. Ah! How dare you? Ah! Oh, that's right, the rewind in this game is bad. I keep forgetting.
You can just watch yourself slowly begin. It's like a replay of yourself dying.
He's jumping on my face. How dare you? You want me to go this way? Alright. Music is amazing. It's got like kind of that tribal jungle feel to it.
Yeah. Oh, this is the one we tried out last time?
Yeah, this is the sequel. This is Jurassic Park II. Remember, guys, to like and share the video if you haven't already. I'm sure you guys want another stream of this, so...
64 likes right now.
150 likes is required for part 2 of this game. Ah!
Yep, 150 likes for part 2.
Because this is a longer game. I'm not doing a 3-hour stream because my head is pounding. I'm sorry, Dino, but you are extinct. For me, you've been dead for centuries. Alright, I got health. We found it, the raptor area. Alright, Amber, time code would be, lab. Abandoned lab. Empty lab. Empty lab would be one. We have to give the dinos a bad case of gas. Ha! No, it'd just be lab, honey.
I know.
It'd be lab. The time codes don't have to be very big. I'm going to shoot you. Yes! You've been... I'm sorry. It is nothing personal. But I have been told to make you extinct. I need to minimize the ow! It's not fair. The rewind should actually do something. It doesn't do anything. Ah!
Oops.
I need to find the health.
Alright, I'll focus on... I was trying to focus on sharing the video, but I'll just focus on getting the newsletter.
Newsletter first, then the video. Come on. Yes. I have murdered you with extreme prejudice. And they say, you're the one that's cold-blooded. Yet I'm here mowing down all the dinosaurs. Hey! Yeah! Oh. That's right, there's a pipe I have to crawl on. Don't you spit at me. Spitting is rude. Dinosaur or not. Arr! Why is the rewind stupid in this game? There's no point. It's not even enough time to fix one mistake. Speaking of dinosaurs, cat wars. I'm going up here. I love the atmosphere in this game. I did not get very far at this game when I was a kid. I wasn't really big into Contra games, so Contra games were very tough. So I rented this for probably a weekend, and I was like, eh. I can imagine, like, this game came out in 94 or something like that. 94 or 95, I think. So I would have been playing a lot of games at the time. I would have probably gone to Mr. Pete's and, like, probably got a couple games. And then this was, like, in a... When I mean a couple, I mean, like, I was able to rent, like, NES, Super Nintendo, and Genesis games for, like, 50 cents a piece. So, I had an allowance of $5 a week from doing tons of chores. So, I would use that allowance to go to Mr. Pete's, and for, like, I think it was, like, for $3, I'd get to rent, like, almost 4 games. And it was, it was because my parents worked. So I would be home alone anyway. So give me something to do. So I always looked forward to the weekends so much. Like after all the craziness at school, with learning disability and stuff, and not realizing I had dyslexia until much later on in life. It was my kind of my haven, my fun time, because school was rough, teachers were mean. Although the New York teachers there were more sympathetic. The Illinois teachers were abusive. The New York teachers were very kind to me. Like, the only weird thing that the New York teachers did is I had to have a school psychologist, which was weird. And the dude was, like, creepy. That's the only thing weird New York did. New York was like, you know what your son needs? A psychologist. It's like, you need a psychologist because I have ADD? That's so mean. You're rude. You're saying I'm stupid.
Maybe some people think that ADD has to do with, like, trauma or something.
I don't remember, but I had to, when I was in New York, I had to go see the guy, like, once a week. It was cool I got out of gym class, though, because, my appointment with him was, like, they had me do a lot of weird... I don't know if any other 90s kids went through this, but I had to do weird tests. Like, they would have me listen to sounds and... I don't know.
Sounds like some kind of weird... Couldn't your family just refuse that?
No, it was required by the state. You couldn't...
Why? Because you had ADD?
Yeah.
That seems kind of weird.
Well, no, they did it for all kinds of kids that had weird, like, mental stuff. You had to listen to... They put these giant headphones on you and have to listen to, like, these beeps and bloops. And then I'd have to do written tests, like, based on stuff. And I'd have to write, like, it happened during, gym class, like, once a week. I'd have to go.
That's strange.
Yeah. It's even stranger is the guy was German.
Oh, that's where you get your German
That's where I got my, yeah, that's where I stole my German accent from. Okay, look, we need to, how are you? Yes, it is time to, do the tests. I know it's not the most fun. I need you to put up the hand that is correct when you hear the beep. The only problem, too, is I couldn't tell my left from right, so that's probably why they thought I was stupid, too. So we would do the beep, and I'd raise the wrong hand sometimes, because I had problems with my left and my right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so, yep, I was required to go to that guy from, I had to go from 2nd grade all the way through 4th grade. He was my only... I saw him more as a teacher than I did like a psychiatrist or whatever, or a psychologist or whatever. Because, like, he was like the most constant thing I had in grade school because, you know, your teachers would always change as you went up grades and stuff like that.
I hated that.
Yeah, so I mean, it was weird. But I guess it was a 90s thing. They wouldn't dare do that now. They'd be like, what's wrong with my child? Blah, blah, blah. But the 90s was a different time. It's not like they were mean to me or anything. It was actually, he was a nice guy. Like, you know, but the tests were stupid. The thing that was cool about the test, though, is I scored... They said that my reading and my because they would have you take math, spelling, history, geography, and some other types of tests. So I would always ace the history test. So in grade school, I had like an above average like history score. Like I probably had like close to a high school level of like history, but my math skills were like that of like very bad. So yeah, I always remember that though, because it was weird. But in Illinois, school was rough because teachers were jerks. They just like they always thought like I was causing problems, so I had detention a lot, which I rolled with it eventually. I was like, yeah, I'm one of the cool kids that gets detention, like the Breakfast Club or something, but it wasn't fun. Detention was scary, so I got it a lot in Illinois. Never in New York though. I never got detention in New York.
Yeah, I don't really know if I'm allowed to say my opinion on that.
Ah!
But honestly, I feel like people that
No.
don't work hard and aren't as smart, they generally are more judgmental of other people. Like people that work hard and are smart, they're not tremendously judgmental.
How many people do we have now? How many people are watching? Ah.
We're at 60 viewers and we're at 78 likes.
All right, so those of you just joining, if you guys get up to 150 likes, there will be a part 2 of Jurassic Park 2 tomorrow. Yep. And then next week we're doing the Arkham thing on November 30th. So the Arkham Collection, we have 1 day early access. Arkham Collection will be streamed the whole game all over again, all of December. But yeah, no, the only reason I thought about that is, I'm trying to remember where... Oh, because the whole Mr. Pete's thing, because school was weird. So, my one silver lining in life was, like, the gaming aspect and the fact that, you know, I wouldn't say a salary from my dad, I got an allowance because my dad was trying to teach me the value of money at a young age. So even though I didn't, I had terrible math skills according to the state, I knew how to balance a checkbook at like 8 or 9 years old. Like, I knew the value of money. I knew how to save money, and I knew how to do a lot of stuff. Like if I saved my allowance, then I'd be able to buy something that was more expensive. But of course, like, I kind of saved some of my allowance. I probably saved like $1.50 or $1 a week if I could to buy a game, and like after 3 months I'd be able to buy a new game. But for the most part, I didn't have a lot of new games. I just rented them from Mr. Pete's store. But a lot of kids my age, they got allowance, but I don't think they understood like the value of money and like how to make more of it and stuff like that.
Awesome, Richard. Richard has a super chat and he said, "Hi, Kwings, you're breathtaking. Lincoln Zelda, you're breathtaking. When I was in kindergarten, I had an 8th grade reading level, Luke," says Richard.
Yeah, nice, man.
That's awesome. Thank you, Richard. You're amazing.
With the laser.
Nostalgia says, "Get in line. I had to move. They moved me out of a perfectly good school and they put me into one that was very vulgar and uncomfortable." Says Nostalgia.
Yep.
Some of the people said that they have hearing issues or other issues that makes people being mean to them at school.
Wow.
Well, that's wrong.
Ouch. If the laser gun now I feel like G.I. Joe.
Well, thank you, Richard, for the super chat. Appreciate that. I don't think I have hard for me with my left hand.
You want me to roll? I can run it.
Yeah, if you want to.
It's so cute that you have problems using a mouse.
I can't use my left hand.
That's how you use a mouse, though. Wait, no, you use the mouse with the right hand.
But
Oh, I see what you're doing. I understand what's going on now. Train. You want the train. Why did the train not work? There it is. Thank you very much for the donation. We appreciate that. The super chats and super thanks and all that other stuff is super important. Link? Did I forget to lock our door? I'm gonna go check. Be right back, guys. Enjoy the spooky atmosphere. Likes up! The music is creepy. Makes me think I'm a science experiment. Get out of the room! Get out!
I tried to pick him up yesterday and he tried to bite me again.
Yeah, he doesn't. I really think he has like some type of cat trauma, like that prevents him from being picked up. There's something on, like, it's gonna take a lot of love and time, but I think in a few years we'll be able to pick him up, no problem.
I thought all kittens bite people.
No, a lot of kittens. Zelda let us pick her up.
Yeah.
Even when Zelda was a little kitten, when Zelda was like 6 months old, she would let us cuddle her. She has a cuddle limit though. You pick her up and she's like, okay, you can hold me for like maybe a minute is what our record would be. Die! Ouch! The dinosaur had me for breakfast. Yo, Joe! Yes!
Alright, thank you, Irene, for the gifted membership.
Thank you, Irene. That's what you get. Oh no. Ah! Oh! With their fast reflexes.
Great job, guys. 15 likes away from 100.
What in the world? How am I supposed to kill you? Oh my gosh, yeah. This is the best game on the collection. I am really surprised that they didn't include the dinosaur combat game. Like the dinosaur fighting game. Why? That would have been so fun. I'm sorry, but you must die. At least health is aplenty in this game. Well, plenty. I said, well, health is aplenty. I'm going to shoot you with this. I'm shooting you with lasers.
Look, I think it's too much Canada Dry because I've been having so much of this.
Huh?
And I have a headache.
Oh no. We're gonna give them a bad case of gas. I don't even know if this is gonna work. But we're gonna try. Ah! Ouch! I need the health. Oh my gosh, stop that! What are you, like random respawning stuff? My gosh. Now we've made the gas. Need to get out. Don't even know you even know where I'm going. Yeah! Oh, that's wrong. We're in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is not right. 30 seconds to get out before you... Ah! Okay, we're gonna reload. I need the time code. Giving them bad gas.
Oh, okay.
Bad case of gas. That's what the time code will say.
24, 30.
Yep. And guys and gals, make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already. 160 or 150 likes will guarantee you another Jurassic Park stream. More intense stuff tomorrow. Thank you, Amber. So do you like the giveaway thumbnail? I thought it was kind of clever.
Oh, right, because it's a Rubik's Cube.
He's doing yeah, it's like he's doing a gift. I need to climb. Ouch! Ah! What in the world? There's no freaking way! What? How do they expect you to survive that? What on earth?
It was when Arnold was really young.
This was Arnold was really young, yes. I don't know how to get out of here.
I like how you had the leaf shadows on his face because it looks like he's really in the jungle.
That's from Commando. I didn't make that. Ah! There's a dead end. Why? Ah! Ouch! Ah! Make it make sense. There's nothing here but death. Ah! Run! Ah! What is happening right now? Don't even know how this is supposed to work. I must use a more powerful gun, I think. Let's see, what do we have? It's a fast gun. It's a laser. Maybe that? We'll try doing that. Try to use a shotgun. I made it all poison. Nope, doesn't work. Ah! Actually, it does kind of work. Oh my gosh, there's too many freaking raptors! What? There's no actual way to do this. What in the world? Oof. I mean, you have to jump down. There's no way. They're poison. You're dead. Goodbye. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Get out of my way, fool. No way! I did it! Yes! You have eliminated the raptor and infestation. Well done. Emergency coming in. The scientist radios for help. One of your top scientists has broken down on his way back to the control center. A Biosyn are after him because of his vital knowledge in the field of dinosaur cloning. You have lost communication with the scientist, and his precise location is unknown. Find him before they do. This is all. They put me right back in the jungle, and it's timed. What the heck?
Alright, I guess I'm out of here.
The time code is called Find the Scientist.
Alright, find the scientist. Alright. And I'm out of here. I was able to delete the extra because I uploaded 2 of the same video.
You're fine.
28, 20.
Oh, you were able to delete one of the videos on Rumble?
It was very easy for me to do.
Oh wow, it's easy to do.
It was
Okay.
easy for me to do.
We almost have 100 followers on
We have
Rumble.
96 followers there now.
We have 96 followers on Rumble, so yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, so 4 away. I don't know what we're gonna do when we get to 100.
Alright, I'm ready.
Okay, Luke.
My head is pounding. So standing up is not fun.
Sorry.
The cats are both in their tiny little thingies. Hello. I actually completed a level. Wow. That's the power of rewind.
I'll try not to trip you.
Alright guys, get the likes up. You're 91 likes. We're 29 minutes in. Come on. Almost there. Now. Alright. We're doing a team. Okay. Super Mario RPG. Okay. That's good. Oh, I forgot that today's Friday.
What are we supposed to do on Friday?
I have to do something very important on Friday.
What?
To write shoot.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think you missed it last Friday.
No, I did not. I got it late in the night.
Why do you do that?
Because it's my thing. No one else does it quite like me. Yes.
Does everyone respond shoot?
Yeah. It's like a universal thing. Today is Friday in California. Shoot. Huh? It's a thing. Alright, here we go.
Is this better than the first one?
Oh yeah, this is way better than the first game.
You beat the Silver Lionel in Tears of the Kingdom? Awesome, Crocklesner. That's fantastic. I'm pretty good, says Irene. I've had a head cold, which has made sleeping a challenge, but Kwings and Peeps are making my day. Thank you, Irene. That's very sweet. Thank you for the gifted memberships. And looks like Aiden Versio got a gifted membership from Irene. Thank you so much, Irene, for the gifted membership.
Very cool. Very cool. Good job.
Yep, and welcome new member, and thank you, Irene, for giving that. And thank you, Richard Taylor. Says, I switched schools after 9/11, says Richard. That's his super chat.
Yep.
Thank you, Richard. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. There's giant bugs everywhere. Yeah, so most of the game looks the same.
Is this game better or worse than the... You mean, is this better or worse than Jurassic Park 1, Adam?
What in the world?
I think this is the best out of the collection, so I would say it is better.
The laser gun doesn't hurt the dude. Weird. I would try regular bullets. Show yourself, you stupid bug. I'm going to swat you. Yes, goodbye. There is a bug. There are humans. There are humans here. Ah! He threw an explosive at my face. So yeah, you fight humans now. Fight dinosaurs and the humans. They're all working together. It's all a conspiracy. I'm having one bad day. Dealing with all this. Take that, human scum. So the game is really good. It's just, like, right now this is the same music from the first stage. In fact, this is the first stage again. Except with some differences. Now you got humans to kill. And it's time.
Yeah.
But it's the same exact thing. I understand that you're going back to Jurassic Park, so I think that's what their reasoning is, but it's exactly the same thing!
Oh, as the first game, or?
No, not as
as the first stage.
Yeah, it's the first stage. I got raptured. I died. It happened so quick. I couldn't blink. Get the likes up. You're almost at 100. Keep going. If we get up to 150 likes, then what happens will be,
we can have another stream.
Do another stream of this. But we need to see that the audience wants more. Let's go. I'm about to teach the bad guys that they have one more day. A very bad day. Ow! That's not nice. I got swatted by a giant bug. Yeah, so it's time. You have to go save a scientist, I think, is what. Ow! I filmed it. Ah, it's poison. Probably poison.
Yeah, so we hope you guys all had a nice Thanksgiving. And great to see everyone in the chat. Hope you guys are all having a great day. Sorry to interrupt you, Arnold.
You're fine. Have some fun now.
Somebody had a question for me.
Sure.
I don't know when I'll be doing Mineko's Night Market next. I have been doing random cozy streams early in the day, and then like later in the afternoon if I have time to do a stream. Then it's usually something like Arkham or Spider-Man. So that's generally how I've been doing it. So I don't really know what I'll do tomorrow. I've been doing a lot of Mineko's Night Market, so I'm probably gonna move on to another game pretty soon and switch it out.
When are you finishing Silent Hope?
Yeah, I have to, maybe I can stay up tonight and grind in that game.
Oh, you need to grind, that's why.
I have to grind in that, and I also have to grind in Spiritfarer, which is why I was doing a lot of Mineko's Night Market, since I didn't have to grind a lot. Also, that game progresses a lot, like...
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You just leave a little bit.
Mineko's Night Market plays kind of like a SAO game where every time you turn the game on, there's tons of dialogue. Oh.
Oh my gosh. What? Huh?
I don't know why that's doing
That's just
that.
a YouTube error. Everything's fine. I mean, I died.
And I
but...
already did the not auto thing, right?
Game over. Mission failed.
I have it not on auto thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Everything's fine.
Thank
Everything's great. Good job. You got 100 likes. Now get 120. 20 likes. Next goal. Good job. I don't know why it has like the little emotes down here all the time. It's weird.
I don't know, Luke.
There, I got rid of it. We died. It was terrible. Something horrible happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see what's going on. Okay.
What's happening?
Oh, nothing. I'm just double checking stuff. Oop. Hey, did Spider-Man today. Nice little thumbnail.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You did good. Good job. Okay. Yep, Ambi kept everything stable. Good job, Ambi. Proud of you. Yes. Alright, guys, get the likes up.
I also uploaded stuff on Rumble.
And you uploaded stuff on Rumble. You were like Supergirl. Okay. So we died. This is stage 2.
I'm just regular girl.
Find the scientist. Stage 2 is hard.
I was getting upset when I don't want to talk about it, but Mary Jane was being mean in the game, and I didn't go off, but I said
You went off.
I didn't like how she was like every room she went in.
Went
she
off.
was in Norman Osborn's house. She was like, "Oh, I see." She's like, "Most people in New York have slices of pizza and go on the subway, and he has a pool at the top deck. I see how it is." And like every single room she was in, she was super jealous of everything he had. And I was like, and I just kind of stopped and I was like, this is no way to live your life. I was like, Norman Osborn went and he has a high degree in science. Like, she could have done that, but she's a journalist. She chose to work a 9-to-5 job. Like, I'm very annoyed that
Journalists don't make money.
Right. If she actually went and I said she could have got an engineering degree or something, and she probably would have had an opportunity to make more money. If she had, like, you know, and I said if you pour all your money into a business to try to make that, then you probably wouldn't have more money. Also, you never know if you're going to lose all your money having a business. Norman Osborn could lose everything on his next business venture. It's a risk. Like, she just doesn't understand how the world works. It's like she's talking like It's like she's just talking like she doesn't understand how society works or something. It was just annoying to me. I said you shouldn't look down on people because they have more stuff than you, because it's no way to live your life. You should just worry about yourself.
The reward of being a journalist is knowing that you wrote the truth. That's...
Don't sit there and be jealous of her. I even said, like, maybe he has done shady business practices, but he has to live with that. Sleep with one eye open. Like, she can sleep peacefully knowing she hasn't done anything shady to get ahead in her life, so she doesn't have to, you know, stress. Like, she's worrying so much. It's like that guy's living rent-free in her head. She's worrying so much about everything he's doing.
That's the term.
Well, anyway, I'm done.
That's alright.
I'm done.
Ow!
So
Flamethrower! The flamethrower! I don't know how I'm gonna do this. No! I've been baked alive. It's very difficult. Alright, guys, keep the likes up, bring in the people.
Yeah,
You're doing
that's
great.
right. Yeah, she was mocking every room she went in. Exactly.
Well, people do realize that journalists only make like maybe 30,000 a year if they're lucky. Like, and
yeah, that's not enough to buy a pool in New York City.
Right.
On top.
You know, and a journalist it can be, especially if you're like a news reporter, it can be a dangerous job. But it's not. I guess journalists want it to be like a government or civil servant job, which, like, you can make. I'm being completely honest. Like, if you become a mailman or a police officer or a firefighter, you'll make more money than you would as a journalist, whether a regular journalist or a game journalist. The only journalists that make a lot of money are news anchors.
Yeah, so
and the reason why they make a lot of money is because they're up front, like, every day in front of the public. But
it's like they're kind of like an actor as well.
yeah, well, I mean, news anchors are actors. They read off a script.
Yeah.
Basically what happens was I mean, I worked in the game industry, but I had friends who worked as who did copy for like some news, you know, like they did local stuff at like I think it was like in New York or something like that. I forget, but as copy or whatever, they would, you know, give the script for people to read off or whatever. But you would have the anchors would come in, and then like one of the things is taped. Like, people don't understand, like some of the news is live, but some of it also is, you know, they also rehearse the news too before they go on. That's why there's a famous thing from Ben Reilly back in the day when he was like younger. There was a problem with the teleprompter or the script or something, so he did the entire show live. Like he didn't have anything to go off, and that's where you get that famous meme from bleep it, I'll do it live, and he's angry because like there was a problem with the prompter, so he had to do the news without, you know, his list of things that he was supposed to do.
You kind of have to be prepared just in case something goes wrong.
Right. So, you know,
You should be.
What people don't understand, like that one guy, Don Lemon or whatever, the dude who was always like baiting people based on, you know, race and stuff like that. That CNN guy, he was a millionaire. Like you saying, you know, especially when he did that famous interview with what's his name, Morgan Freeman, who basically told him, "What are you talking about this nonsense that you're oppressed?" He says, "You're a millionaire." And he was correct, because I mean the dude was a CNN news anchor. He was like one of the top paid journalists in the world, and he's acting like he's, you know, has it worse than everybody else. When do you want to know the person who has it worse, like who worked at CNN? The guy who got, you know, Don Lemon coffee, was barely making like McDonald's wage. But you don't hear about those stories. So that's why, yeah, the reason why I don't like the news is because a lot of it is fake. Like they read the prompter, they, you know, do some type of silly or sob story in order to get ratings. And what I hate about the news in particular is the fact that like all they do is talk about bad news so they get ratings. Like they don't do a lot of stories about like happy things, because people don't want to watch happy things.
I do. I like happy. I watch happy news all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I watch videos about like someone rescuing a kitten from a tree, or, you know, somebody like helping their neighbor when they needed a pie to bring to their house.
Yeah, they call that what do they call this?
I look for that kind of
It's
stuff
not.
on YouTube.
I have a pounding headache, so
like
it's not.
Stories or something.
It's not called self-interest stories. I forget what the journalist term for it is.
Puff pieces.
No, it's not a puff piece. It's a I can't remember the name of it. It's a specific name that they give it when they're doing it.
See, I like that. I would watch a news show that's just about that. Like, here's a little kitten that was born with, you know, 3 freckles on its right paw, and everyone is interested in it because it's so unique. Like, there's a news story. Like, that would be really interesting if like the news was all positive.
Well, I mean, it couldn't be all positive, because then the news would go out of business. But just like the only reason Kotaku is around, like that game journalist site, which they're barely making ends meet, so they're gonna go the way of the dino soon, since meaning they'll be extinct.
Yeah.
The only reason they're still around is because they get a lot of what's known as rage bait. So they purposely make articles attacking gamers, and then gamers are like, oh, what's Kotaku up to now? And then they click on their website, and they keep them alive. If a lot of YouTubers and game companies would stop talking about Kotaku, like they would go out of business in like a week. Like they bank on people's outrage to keep clicking on them.
Yeah.
That's it. Like they don't actually have any they have no journalist integrity, and they're not smart people.
Yeah, and yeah, later Gator was saying that, yeah, we saw Mary Jane jump off the roof at the end of that segment. And Peter was on his way to catch her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sorry I got you on the topic.
No, it's fine. I'm shooting dinosaurs. There's nothing else. All I have to say is that these humans with the flamethrowers, they are much more difficult than the dinos. Except for the raptors. the raptors can jump, but the humans have the flamethrowers and the grenade launchers.
I don't understand why these people are working with the dinosaurs.
They're trying. Well, it's weird that the dinosaurs are like. It's almost like the dinosaurs are mind control, and they're helping the humans, but it's not that. Like the game just didn't think about it. They're like, it doesn't matter that the humans are working with the dinosaurs. They're just enemies. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna explain it. You have to go into the jungle, kill all these humans, and save. You've got a minute and 40 seconds to go and do this.
Well, let's see. This is Jurassic Park.
This is Jurassic Park II now.
Some of the movies, like the humans were trying to like poach the animals or something. Or...
No, there's no poaching. This is a rival organization that's trying to steal. I don't even know what they're trying to steal. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on.
I'm surprised they haven't actually made dinosaurs in real life at this point because
don't give them.
They're already like
give them the idea.
All kinds of animals.
Ah!
It's hard for me to
The
believe.
raptor. Look at that. Look at how smart the raptor is. It just did parkour against the wall. It's so smart. Ah! Ah! I can't kill it. It is strong.
A lot of people have been talking about our yeah, that video, they liked that a lot, the Madden thing.
Oh, they enjoyed the football video?
Yeah, people kept talking about
I'm supposed to duck and he jumps over me. He's not jumping. He's doing his claw thing.
Somebody asked me about if you heard about the Superman game, but there's always a Superman game in the works, and it never happens.
There is. Rocksteady's not working on a Superman game. That's not true. Rocksteady, there's a lot of misconceptions about the whole Superman thing, which, you know, I can tell people. So, what happened was, years ago, after Arkham Knight, there was 2 Batman games that were in the pitch phase. There was a sequel to Arkham Origins with Batman and Robin, which was going to be very similar to what we had with, what do you call it? Very similar to what we had in Arkham Knight, except you'd be able to free roam as Batman and Robin. It was going to be like a sequel to Arkham Origins. It was being handled by WB Games Montreal. The only problem is Warner Media said no. And then they're like, okay, from that, then Warner Media started working on another Batman game, which starred Damian, and they got all the way to the concept art phase, as well as, like, they had, like, a storyboard and everything. They had a story of how they were going to do it. And then Warner Media said no. Remember, Warner Media was the company that AT&T and Warner Brothers kind of merged into. So this isn't... Warner Discovery is not necessarily a new thing. Oh, I died again. That flamethrower is nasty. I don't even know how to get past that. Game over. You fail. Failed again. So, both of those games, you know, basically got rejected at the pitch phase, but the Arkham Origins sequel made it farther, and then it turned into the Damian Wayne game, which got even further along, and then that was canceled outright. So while that was happening, Rocksteady was like, we want to move on from Batman, and we really want to do a Superman game. So they had like a really strong pitch for it, and they had a good idea for it. I'm pretty sure it involved Brainiac. In fact, I think some of their ideas for their Superman game ended up in this Suicide Squad thing, where, you know, the Justice League is all whatever. Except before, the Justice League wasn't going to be a part of the Superman game. It was just going to be Superman Brainiac type deal. So they got to the pitch phase, they went up to Warner Media, and just like all the Batman games that got shot down, the Superman game got shot down as well, because their reasoning is the movies weren't doing very well. So the Justice League movie had failed, essentially, and the Superman Man of Steel movie didn't make anywhere near what Warner Media wanted. So it basically became like a Disney Infinity thing. Warner Media didn't even look at how much the Arkham franchise had sold overall. They were expecting it to sell more. Just like the whole Disney Infinity thing, where Disney came in and they're like, oh yeah, you guys are $1 billion short projections for making a Disney Infinity 4, so rather than, you know, letting you guys continue this game, we're pulling the plug, you're all fired, and you're gonna have to look for work. Like, you know, be thankful we didn't do this at Christmas time type deal. You know, so they fired everybody. I believe they fired everybody over the course of, like, at Avalanche. They all lost their jobs. The game was canceled, like, May of 2016. And then the office building, Avalanche was closed completely by, I want to say July or August. And then September, right when they were liquidizing everything, Warner Brothers came in and bought Avalanche. So Warner Brothers actually was the one who saved Avalanche. They became,
Wow.
yeah, Avalanche became a company that worked for Warner Brothers. But that's also around the time where Warner Brothers, you would get these weird claims if you were a YouTuber and you did Disney Infinity,
Yeah.
because all your videos would be claimed that were Disney from Warner Brothers and be like, what's going on? It's like, that's because Warner Brothers owned Avalanche and they were going through and they were claiming all kinds of stuff. So there was a rumor going around years ago that after Warner Brothers bought the Disney Infinity engine, that they actually were going to make like a Warner
Yeah.
Brothers Disney Infinity, like
That would've been
featuring
amazing.
Looney Tunes and DC Comics characters. The problem is, just like all the other pitches, like the Superman game, the Arkham Origins 2, the Damian Wayne game, Warner Media wasn't having it. Warner Media wanted to focus on mobile gaming and other stuff. So they weren't really, you know, for whatever reason, they invested a lot of their games into doing the whole point and click thing because they saw it as a rising fad. And they were correct. The Batman point and click games did okay, and there was a resurgence of those type of games again. But the problem is they didn't pay attention to the trends a lot because Warner Brothers' core is story-driven narratives. That's
Yeah.
what single-player story-driven experiences. That's where their core audience is. So while they tried to jump on the bandwagon of you know, point-and-click games and some really weird mobile games, every single one of those projects failed because it wasn't going to be that long of a trend. See, sometimes companies think that when they see a gaming trend, that what's going to happen is that they're going to ride this for years, and that's what the new it thing is. The new it thing is point-and-click games. So they got bad intel. I mean, you know, it was Warner Media. What do you expect?
Yeah, trends change.
You're right. Trends change. And also, you know, Walter Hamada was obsessed with weird stuff as well. Like, he wanted to basically do the DCU because he wanted to beat Marvel to the punch where they had more female-centered superhero films and projects. So he basically rushed everything. All his plans got leaked, and then he had to course correct with the Crisis on Infinite Earths movie with Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill. Like, you know, after The Flash, he was leading into that as kind of like, okay, I screwed up with Batgirl, I screwed up with the, you know, the Birds of Prey movie and my direction of the films. Nobody likes the idea of Supergirl replacing Henry Cavill. You know, so I'm gonna bait the audience and make them think that's where the direction we're going, and then we're gonna do something completely different. And everything backfired for him, obviously, because when David Zaslav got in power, he yanked, what's his name, fired him, and then brought in James Gunn as the new head of, you know, DC Films or whatever. So Walter Hamada did have a plan to kind of pull himself out of the dirt, and maybe it would have worked, but there was too much noise about, like, these, like, female heroes replacing Batman and Superman that, like, he couldn't just drown out the noise. And when Zaslav came on board, he wasn't okay with that. He was like, nope. And I mean, this is all rumors and stuff, but the fact that he was actually fired and then James Gunn was brought in and a full reboot was done where all your favorite actors were fired and they weren't able to continue, I mean, it does add some weight to what possibly could have happened. So at the same time, the gaming division was also, you know, in a huge downward spiral for Warner Brothers. In fact, you know, people didn't think that Hogwarts Legacy was going to be that big game. A lot of people had misconceptions thinking that Gotham Knights was what was going to make, you know, Warner Brothers a lot of money, but it was a flop. Just like they're putting all their eggs in the same basket right now with the Suicide Squad, and Zaslav and company basically announced that a Superman game is in development, but as far as I know, this is the first Superman game that's been in development, like actually being developed, and not just pitched, in probably 10, 12 years. Because the last really Superman game that actually released would have been the Superman Returns game. Or technically the Injustice games is basically kind of like a Superman thing.
A while ago, a single game developer had made his own world with Superman flying around in it that looked really good. Like,
There are several.
he used a Spider-Man New York City, and then he flew around, and it was really cool.
I can't get this guy.
And
There's no way.
it looked like it. I mean, they were just showing that a Superman game could be possible.
Yeah, there were a bunch of. They're not game developers, but there's a bunch of people on YouTube that have basically been making Unreal 5 engine Superman games to show what a Superman game could be like, because they're trying to entice developers to actively work on a Superman game. Now a Superman game is actually being greenlit, but they don't have anything. Like, there's nothing to go on. Like, just because Zaslav wanted to announce that a new Batman story-driven game and a new Wonder Woman game and a new Superman game is coming, but they don't have anything to show yet. Like, I don't even think there's concept art. In my mind, he just kind of walked up and went into the office. All right, we've got a reboot coming for Batman and Superman. We've got a Themyscira show coming up. We're gonna need video games. So it feels like this guy is very similar to what Warner Brothers did in the 90s, where just like, you have all these projects, and they're gonna start releasing a bunch of games again, but you don't know the studio who's working on said Superman game.
Yeah.
We have some information about the studio who's working on the Wonder Woman game, but they literally haven't shown anything for like, oh my gosh, it's been almost 2.5 years now since the Wonder Woman game actually had a teaser trailer. So there's no information. And that's the problem, is you don't know who these high-profile studios are working on this stuff. You don't know anything. It's just all kind of like, oh. And at the same time, because you don't have a face to these companies, their projects can easily be canceled at any time. Because you have nothing to see at all. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, it's happening, but we don't know what's going on. Mean humans. I need like if I had a grenade weapon, I could probably beat that guy. There's this annoying guy on this rope here coming up that I can't get past him no matter how hard I try. Because you can't rewind, and you can't shoot him because he's too far away. I don't even think you can jump on the rope. Let me see if I can jump on the rope. If I can jump on the rope, I might be able to pull this off. But I don't know.
Yeah, I actually came across like somebody that explained the whole idea of the female superhero universe and why exactly people feel so strongly against it, why people don't like it. And I thought it was interesting. I never had heard it explained this way, but basically he was saying with Disney, like specifically Disney with their superhero versus their Disney princesses brand. Basically what he was saying was that Disney's brand with the princesses movies, that was for girls. It was directed towards women, and then they needed to branch out to direct some towards boys. They're like, okay, well these would be superhero movies, and then when you tried to move the girls and have them be the superheroes, it wasn't working because girls like watching princess movies in general. So I thought that was interesting that he was saying that it's just kind of like the marketing was kind of messed up for that.
That's not the only reason that didn't work out. Walter Hamada was set in his ways that he was trying to follow the Kevin Feige, because Kevin Feige kept announcing that they were doing like this female-centered thing, and you know, the future is female, all that other stuff, you know, trying to follow the Kathleen Kennedy model for like what they're doing with Star Wars and stuff like that. He was going to do that for whatever. So basically Warner Brothers and Walter Hamada jumped on that train, and they're like, okay, we're going to rush all these female-centered projects before, because, you know, they're in their mind, they were like, okay, it's going to take forever to do this.
We're going to jump off of a ship. We're going to jump off the plank before they do.
Right.
We're going to jump off the cliff. When you see your friend jumping off a cliff, you jump off it faster, apparently. That's what their idea was.
Kind of. Okay, that was tough. So what happened was, though, everything kind of like blew up in their face because like the public found out about it, and they didn't want a Batgirl movie without Batman involved. So the original draft for the Batgirl movie was they weren't going to have Batman involved. Like, Batman was going to either be dead or he wasn't going to be around at all. And then they were like, well, we're getting rid of Ben Affleck because, you know, Ben Affleck is big and beefy, and we're not going to show that type of man anymore. So we're going to bring back Michael Keaton, and we're gonna make Batman old and useless because that's what Disney was doing. Thankfully, Andy Muschietti had a lot of respect for Michael Keaton. He didn't make him this doting idiot, you know, kind of like what they did to Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill and a lot of these, you know, when they bring back these older actors and they have them come back, they kind of ruin them. They make their characters look like they're old and useless. So the original plan was the Batman that was going to show up in, you know, their universe, he was going to be basically old and useless. But you've seen the Flash movie and it didn't happen. Like, the script was actually pretty good to the Michael Keaton Batman. They had him do some really cool stuff. So that was good.
He was awesome in that.
Right, he was really cool in it. So, but Walter Hamada's vision was not going to be kind to Michael Keaton. That's what the rumor is. So he was going to be just basically, with Walter Hamada, he was following with what Disney did. And Disney took their old established characters and they butchered them. Because the idea was to ruin these iconic men characters to bring them down in the dirt so that you could build up the female characters. These writers, they cannot make female heroes without dragging men in the dirt. That's the problem with the modern movies.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right about how they were like the Warner Brothers, when we were talking about how they were trying to go on that one trend, because I think you're right. Warner Brothers people that like Batman and Arkham, they like story-driven things. They like Arkham because of the story, not. I mean, the gameplay is awesome, but the story.
There's no way I can do this.
Well, this seems pretty crazy.
I'm trying everything I can think of, but I just can't kill these guys. If I could somehow see them on the other side, that would be one thing, but I can't. And they're mean. I'll try using a shotgun, but I don't think it's gonna do anything. I barely survived. I barely survived, and there's no freaking health. Wow, game. How do they expect you to do this? There's no freaking way. I'm gonna... Like, where do they expect you to go? Ah!
Have you guys, anyone seen the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths trailer?
Yeah, they're gonna reboot the animated universe again. And the reason why they're doing that is because of James Gunn. So they have what's known as the Tomorrowverse, which is this new thing. Watch this be rapid dinos. Where am I supposed to go? Like, how am I supposed to find... I don't even know where these people are. Like, I have like 11 minutes to find this scientist. Like, where is he? Like, there's nobody here. Ah! Oh my gosh, this is insanely hard. It's fun though, but this is mind-bending. Why did you die? You died. Okay, you didn't die last time. Alright. 1, 2, 3. I killed him, but he killed me, so that's where we're at now.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Come on, Arnold, you can do this. Oh, good job, Luke. That was amazing.
I'm almost going to die. I have 19 seconds. I have no...
Oops. Sorry, I was distracting you with all kinds of questions.
No, you're not doing anything wrong. I mean, I'm still playing the game, even though I'm not doing very well.
Hi, Jacob Orion.
They're invincible.
Speedster Zone.
So,
hi everyone.
What people don't understand is what folks wanted is they didn't. It's not necessarily that everybody was like, oh no, the idea of female-centered superhero movies, you know. Bad. What people wanted is they didn't want them to sideline Batman and Superman. So the reason why fans were so angry, and they tried to spin it like, oh, gamers don't like women, it's because the executives said they were getting rid and replacing Batman and Superman to bring about characters nobody really wanted to see without the involvement of Batman and Superman. Like, that was it. So they made fans look like the villains, but that's not what it was about.
Yeah.
They said that they were getting rid of our favorite characters and replacing them and making, like, the next World Finest movie would be Supergirl and Batgirl instead of Superman and Batman. So the new rebooted universe would have majority of the women and none of the male heroes. That was Walter Hamada's plan. And then people caught wind of it, and he saw how badly Birds of Prey did, and he was just like, you know what? This isn't gonna work, so we're gonna have to, you know, bring back Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill one more time before we officially pass off the torch. So we're gonna do a Crisis on Infinite Earths movie, you know? But, of course, that didn't happen, and the Crisis of Infinite Earths movie, like, that idea is now being done in animation, which happened again because, what's his name's movie? What the freak is his name? Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's, basically big magnum opus for his, Justice League movie was basically turned into an animated film called Justice League Apocalypse, where basically the Justice League is all killed by Darkseid, and only a few remaining members are able to survive, and then time travel is basically what fixed the movie, except they changed some of the aspect of it, but the Justice League getting wiped out by Darkseid is pretty much the same as what happened with Zack Snyder's universe. The only difference is, like, Mira didn't die in Zack Snyder's universe, Cyborg didn't die, Flash didn't die, and Batman obviously didn't die. And, you know, but Superman became corrupted, and he became like man, I can't do this. This is too hard.
People are saying, slow down, you can do this.
I don't see how I can do it in 20 seconds. But thank you, everybody.
Majo's.
Majo
Thanks,
said.
Majo. Just slow down. Take it slow, Luke. You can do this.
I can't take it slow. It's time.
Well, maybe don't worry about the time and just try to do it, and then maybe worry about getting faster later.
There has to be we're looking for a doorway or something. There seems to be... Yeah, the flamethrower guys are impossible. Like,
that's not difficult. I know what you're saying. It wasn't so much that they were bringing female characters in, it was that they were pushing the male characters down.
Exactly, that's all it was.
And making them, like, kind of like in disgrace, or like just making them like they're not worth anything.
Right. So the whatever movie that Walter Hamada wanted to do, like the Crisis movie, that was his way of basically apologizing to his core audience. Like, hey, I know we did this Flash movie and there was a lot of noise about what the future of the DC Universe was going to be, because you have to remember that rumors are just rumors. Whatever ends up being put on film, that's what reality is. So what he was going to try to do is he was going to prove to his shareholders and other people, hey, all that noise that you just heard, that was just YouTubers. My plan was always to bring back Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill for a Final Crisis movie. Those are people just making up stuff for clicks.
He could have just said that.
He was probably gonna, because he didn't like YouTubers. He was probably gonna throw YouTubers under the bus. Like, be like, all that stuff, that was just like conjecture by YouTubers making up stuff about our movies to hurt us. Like, that was never my plan. Look at this. Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck coming back for a Final Crisis movie. See, look at that. That was always my plan.
Somehow that flamethrower is getting you every time.
Yeah, I can't beat the flamethrower.
Oh, this is crazy.
I can't beat the flamethrower guy.
Oh, we're almost to 100. Guys and gals, remember, if we get 20 more likes, we will get another stream of this.
I'd have to watch somebody play this because, like, this is pretty insane. Like, the time involved, like, how strong... It's amazing to me that the human characters are stronger than the dinosaurs. Right.
No, I think you can... Luke.
What?
That time where there's a zappy thing right before the flamethrower guy. You jump over the zappy thing. I think what you need to do is shoot forward and do not jump. When you come to the zappy thing before the flamethrower, don't jump, because if you jump, he'll flamethrower you in the stomach as you're jumping down onto him. I think you need to walk forward quickly through the zappy thing. Do not jump at all. Like, don't jump at all.
I have to jump. There's...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Don't you see there's obstacles?
There's an obstacle there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There's obstacles. There's obstacles everywhere. Like, you can't just run straight.
I thought you could just run forward.
No, they have these blocks. You can't. The only thing that kills these guys is a shotgun. So I can't clear this guy because I can't...
Maybe you can shoot him from far away.
Nope, because I can't shoot him from far away because
Maybe if you duck down and just keep shooting, and then
You're forgetting that there's a wall there. Like, also, my shotgun doesn't reach where he is. Like, his flamethrower has more range than my shotgun does.
Is there another weapon you could use to hurt him? Or?
No. The shotgun is your only weapon that kills human characters in one hit. Like, the human characters are way too strong.
Why are they stronger than dinosaurs?
I don't think they really thought it out, to be honest.
You would think a dinosaur would be stronger than a human being.
I don't think they properly thought out. You know, they were probably thinking, you know what, the game's really hard, so the chances are of somebody actually getting past... See, I can't...
Oh, you're right. You can't...
I don't know how I died.
You somehow were able to shoot him, but then you randomly died.
Yeah, then I randomly died. So, like, this is kind of impossible. A little bit. Oh, I see now there's electricity. So, I have to somehow dodge the electricity. I have to dodge the dinos. I have to dodge the bullets. And I only have 16 seconds to find where this scientist is hidden. Like,
oh, we may have randomly died because we ran out of time. That's what people are saying in the chat.
no, there's an electricity fence. But it is timed. Mission time, fail. Game over. You've lost communication.
They're making a Batgirl versus Supergirl adventure DC film, Captain Zach, in 2025. I didn't hear about that. I don't know if
where did you hear that? That's not true. They're not.
Maybe that's a YouTuber that said that.
No, that's not true. They're not. Walter Hamada lost his job because of that stuff. They're not. James Gunn's not going to do that. There is a not World's Finest. There is a Batman movie and there's a Superman movie. The Superman movie comes out first, July 2025. The Batman movie is not going to come out until 2026.
Cat says when we say something in unison, it brings uplifting to his system. We do say stuff in unison sometimes.
Yeah, we do. Because Amber and I are so in sync. We love each other a lot. We work. Like, the best thing about YouTube is Amber and I are able to work together whenever we want. Like, we don't... Can't reach him. Ah! I just want to see what's beyond this. Oh, I saw something! There was something there! It might be possible. I think the exit is here. We just have to get there real fast.
Oh, Luke, just 22 had a super chat and said, is this Contra? LOL.
It's basically Contra,
But
yeah.
that was a while ago, but I didn't get to read it.
Oh, shoot. I messed up already. Because you can't... If I could somehow clear that guy... I can get there.
Thank you guys and gals for all the super chats. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Just 22. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats today. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
It's really hard to get there within 6 seconds, though. Like, I mean, if I could just somehow run over everything, but it's just like Contra. You can't run into the enemies. You take damage. So I'm gonna have to redo this level. Like... There's no way.
Today in Mineko's Night Market, we had one of the longest pieces of dialogue I've ever seen in a speech bubble from a character ever in a video game. The character kept droning on and on and on, and I was like, is this for real? Going on about his life and how his dad didn't really trust him with the fish business and all this stuff forever. And he was like, wow, I've been talking for like 1 billion years. That's what his last piece of dialogue was. So then we had to go see his dad and explain to his dad. So after listening to all that dialogue, you didn't realize that actually you were supposed to be paying attention, and his dad quizzed you on all kinds of answers about what his son thought about certain things. So then if you got them right, then you could actually recruit the son for your village. But it was just like, it was a lot of dialogue.
You have to start over. I don't know where the dinosaur... I mean, I don't know where the human is. I can't find the human. Like, this is crazy. I think you have to... I have no idea. Like, you got 190 seconds to do it. We'll save.
I like how you put Arnold on the thumbnail because
It's Arnold.
It could be him.
Yeah, the flamethrower guys are the most annoying aspect of this game. Like, they deal a lot of damage to you. Which is it. Oh, I have a missile? I'm shooting the guy with a straight-up missile launcher. He doesn't die. The dinosaur dies in one hit. This is kind of unfair. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, his name was Taco. That's right, I think, or Talk or something. Yep, definitely.
This makes no sense.
Hello, Cinema Store. Glitch Nights is $13 for Black Friday sale on Xbox, but that is too much money to Sammy.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So, I don't know. My advice to Warner Brothers would be, is you need to get a good studio to make the Superman game that people want. Like, you don't... Because if you just release, like, a lame game, like you did, a Gotham Knights, like, people are gonna riot, because you're gonna get all their hopes up, and then you're gonna release a shoddy product. Like, you need to get a high... You need to do what Sony did, and you need to find your Insomniac. And unfortunately, Rocksteady is not the Insomniac that Warner Brothers needs. Like, what people don't understand is it's not the same team. Like, everybody's thinking, oh, Suicide Squad. Well, I mean, people who don't know the gaming industry are thinking that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is going to be like Rocksteady's next big hit. It's going to be a dud. A lot of the team, and people are making up rumors why the team left, but I think a lot of them left is because they were just tired of all their projects being canceled. In a couple years, probably right around the time that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League releases, like next year or whatever, don't be surprised if, just like what happened with Rare turning into Retro Studios, don't be surprised if if Rocksteady suddenly, like, creates a new studio that has, like, most of the people responsible for making Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and Arkham Knight, like, their own studio. Because more than half the team is gone. Like, once Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League comes out, a lot of them have already said they're leaving. Because, I mean, there's just been working with Warner Brothers the past couple years has been a nightmare. Because, I mean, they were there with Warner Media and they're there with Warner Discovery. And most of their things that they wanted to do, everything was said no to. The only reason the Suicide Squad was greenlit is because there were Suicide Squad movies at the time. There was, you know...
Oh, wow, so they kept saying no to everything else.
Right. And eventually, when you tell a game studio no too many times, they end up leaving. Look at Traveler's Tales. Traveler's Tales has been trying to make a new Lego game for almost a decade now, and, you know, Warner kept saying no, which, it was a gold mine to do Lego games, and they just didn't do it.
Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Looking at the numbers of money in 1984's Super and Red Sonja, boys and dads don't want movies with without their favorite male leads. DC forgot its audience, says just 22.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's not... People would have been more on board for a Batman and, you know, Batgirl movie, or introducing Batgirl, and then having... The thing is, you introduce Batgirl the correct way through a Batman movie, you introduce Supergirl the correct way in a Supergirl movie, and then the public is not going to do an outcry of, you know, where's my Batman and where's my Superman? What are they doing in this new universe? You know where they are. They were introduced. You saw them. And then you built up that universe and gave, even right after the Batman movie, like, if James Gunn was smart, what he could do, he does the Batman Brave and the Bold movie, and then he goes right into a Batgirl movie. Like, introduce her. He says he's introducing the Bat family and, you know, Batman and Robin or whatever. Do that. And then have your next movie be about Batgirl, and have Batman show up for, like, just, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes in the movie. Just to, you know, continue to establish his character exists. And I guarantee you, even get Leslie Grace back as Batgirl, who cares? Do that, and there will be no public outcry. Like, they won't care. Be like, because the people who are worried about stuff, they just want to know where Batman and Superman is. And if you use the executive thing, like, well, you know, there's been so many Batman movies over the past, blah, blah, blah. It's like, Batman is your biggest breadwinner. Respect him. Because Batgirl and Supergirl, they're not going to be able to, you know, lead a franchise. They're not... even in the comics, they're not that big of a character.
I also, well, for me, growing up with the animated series, it's hard for me to imagine Batgirl without Batman because a lot of her storylines had to do with her seeing what Batman was going to do and then, oh, okay, you're not going to do it? I guess I'll have to fill in, or like, oh, you're not going to let me work with you because I'm a girl? I see. Everything was about her wanting to work with Batman all the time. Like, she wanted to be around Batman, she wanted to know about him, she wanted to copy his outfit. Everything was about her wanting to work with him. So it's just odd that they would change the character so much that she wouldn't even, quote, need him when her whole idea of her entire identity is based off of him. Like, she made a suit that looks like Batman's suit. Why would she not want him around? Why did she base her suit off of him if she doesn't want him around then? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, what's interesting about the Batgirl movie is apparently, I mean, this is what the directors say. I don't know if it's true or not. But according to the Critical Drinker, because he has, like, you know, really high connections in Hollywood and staff members and things that he knows, like little people that work on the movies, they said the reason why the Batgirl movie did so poorly is because, like, they actually went and they talked to Walter Hamada, and they were trying to get more of a budget, and they were trying to get script revisions and, you know, do their vision and make it as close to the comics as possible. This is, you know, just hearsay. But it's an interesting rumor, and it makes sense based on some of the stuff that Walter Hamada was responsible for. Like, he was kind of an idiot. So the Batgirl problems, they were hoping to all get fixed and addressed at the first screening. But after the first screening, their movie got dumped. So they did what was in the script at the time, the first script, because they were hoping for reshoots and more of a budget and stuff like that, so they could, like, prove all their concerns and stuff by showing the movie, which they did show the movie, and then instead of like the studio working with them and being like, okay, we see why this is not going to work and this isn't going to work, and we need to add more Batman, or we need to do this.
Yeah, it was like their rough draft.
It was their rough draft of the film, and Warner Brothers saw that. Walter Hamada wasn't there anymore. It was Zaslav that was there. Zaslav saw it. He was furious, and he pulled the plug.
Oh, I see what was happening. So Walter Hamada was like, okay, give me a really awesome girl power movie with girl power and more girl power, more girl power. And they're like, what? Don't you need Batman? It's like, no, I just want girl power. It's like, are you
Batman
sure?
was in it for 5 minutes.
Okay, it's like, okay, we'll put him in for 5 minutes. All right, but I think we might need him more. No, it's going to be 95% girl power, 5 minutes of Batman. Okay, we'll show you what we've got. So they work on the movie.
They filmed the entire movie.
Meantime, he leaves.
Yep.
And then the new boss comes in and he's like, what am I watching?
What is this crap? You're fired. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, because you have to remember the directors...
Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense
The
now.
directors of Batgirl...
So they kind of made it to show Walter Hamada how dumb it was going to be.
Right. That's...
But then when they showed him,
this is according,
he wasn't there.
This is according to the Critical Drinker. Like, based on... Because remember, there's all kinds of people that work on a movie. There are extras, there are, like, people who, you know, handle copy, people who bring the coffee... people who, like, you know, did the light and the sound, all those people, like, they were there for the filming of the movie, so some of them apparently are talking, and they talk to the Critical Drinker. Now, again, it's hearsay, because you're never going to find out the true story about what happened in this movie, but when you look at Walter Hamada's track record, because apparently he was very adamant about changing a lot of aspects of Aquaman. Like, the original Aquaman movie actually was going to have Batman involved. There was going to be, you know, the big battle in Atlantis?
Yeah.
Like, since they were tying it to Zack Snyder's universe originally, Ben Affleck was actually going to appear in the first Aquaman movie near the epic conclusion where Aquaman is basically fighting Orm with that massive water battle. There's concept art of Batman's bat sub for the Atlantis thing, as well as they were going to kind of do the Throne of Atlantis storyline a little bit, like the first director of Aquaman. So the Justice League, some of the Justice League were going to show up to help, you know, Aquaman fight Ocean Master.
Now that you're explaining it like that, now I'm thinking Walter Hamada, maybe he has a different method. Like, he waits for the
He has the Kevin Feige method.
He waits for the movie to be somewhat roughly done, and then he changes everything that needs to be changed.
No, he actually... I mean, people make fun of David Zaslav for having bad... my gosh, that flamethrower's range is just too much. They make fun of David Zaslav for, like, not understanding stuff, but Walter Hamada, he had some... He was riding on the coattails of Aquaman's success and some other things like Wonder Woman to, you know, prove his point that, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We're going to bring in this, you know, hot writer from... She did really good on the Bumblebee movie. We're going to have her do this. We're going to have her... She's going to be, like... She's a female and she's Asian or whatever, so she's going to be, like, our big top writer. And not everything that... You have to remember, not everything a writer writes is going to be great.
Yeah.
So, you kind of saw some very telling signs about that with the Birds of Prey movie was a mess. And if you go back and you watch the Bumblebee movie, which is by the same author, the same writer, it's much better. But then she wrote the Batgirl script, and basically, it's like she did, like... I don't know, she
reverted back to being terrible.
She soundboarded Twitter and Twitter opinions, and if you go and you actually look at the movie, basically the Batgirl movie, if you were ever able to see it, it looks like it was written by Twitter. Like it's got every character from the Batgirl like comic books that nobody likes. Like Bab's best friend. They have Barbara like two-timing. Like I think she's like dating two different guys in the story. It's just like,
oh wow.
Yeah, she's not Barbara Gordon. She's not very nice to her dad. She's not nice to Batman. She doesn't. It's a mess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to like make a script, make a story, stick with it no matter, because there's so many opinions online. I think you'd have to like go into a room on your own, make your vision, don't listen to any other opinions at all, just do, because I feel like the social media wasn't as a huge factor like in the 80s and stuff. Like, you know, there was really no social media back then, so it was like you would just make your movie and then see what people thought.
Yeah, Walter Hamada was definitely using Twitter as like a sounding board to like be kind of like, okay, this is how we can get away with this because this is what the public wants. When in reality, right? In reality, it's not what the general audience wants.
Right.
And the general audience is your core audience. Like that's why I said
I don't know when they're ever gonna learn that Twitter doesn't represent most people.
Right. So the reason why the Marvels failed, the Marvels was basically, you know, you brought in a high-profile writer who was basically, you know, was very respected and loved on Twitter by a certain group of people, but you know, they were really worried about the original movie, so they actually went and they did reshoots of the film. And I'm not going to get into spoilers, but they did heavy reshoots for the Marvels. A lot. And because the original vision of the movie was basically a sequel of the first Captain Marvel movie, which was very divisive, right? Mm-hmm. The new movie, after its reshoots, was not a divisive film. It was...
Yeah, that's what I heard. It was just like a feel-good movie or something.
It was an average feel-good movie that they were trying to do Shazam, but it didn't come across that same way. It was a terrible movie, but it was a terrible movie just because of its pacing. It didn't have any of the quote-unquote messaging or weird stuff that, you know, people thought would be included. But what general audiences what people don't understand, or at least executives seem to be kind of stupid about, is they don't pay attention to the general audience. And the general audience says, hey, I don't like this kind of stuff. And they're like, tough rocks, we're doing this because, you know, this is what we're doing. And general audience will see your first movie and they're like, okay, I went to see your first movie, but I don't like your second one. I'm not cool with this. There's no way past this.
Yeah.
I don't...
It kind of reminds me of when I worked at Pizza Hut, and I remember, like, my manager saying that when somebody writes something negative about the food on the comment card, then you should acknowledge that and say thank you for letting us know. Don't be mad at them and be like, why did you write a mean comment? My manager said for every one criticism on that comment card, there's 10 people that didn't criticize you, but they just walked away and they'll never come back to the thing again because you didn't have the food they wanted or you didn't do it the way they wanted. So for the one person that actually takes the time to explain to you what they didn't like, you should be thankful they actually told you so that you know what to change so they'll come back again. I always thought that was interesting that my manager said that. So it's like, I think it's the same thing with like the games and the media and stuff. Like when the people who are watching these movies and buying these games are saying, I don't like the Marvels movie because of XYZ, people, instead of saying tough rocks, they should really be like, thank you for your comment. Thanks for letting us know what you didn't like about it. We'll work on trying to make a movie that you like more next time.
Yeah,
they really do need to they need to realize people don't have to tell them they don't like it. They could just stop watching.
The problem is, right now, is Marvel's brand is in terrible danger because, and they like to blame the Phantom thing, like, oh, it's superhero fatigue. It's like, it has to do with the content of your movies. Like, if they would have kept to the same formula that they had been doing and they hadn't pushed certain things, or, I mean, they made a very polarizing, the first Captain Marvel film, like, really turned audiences off. Like, the reason why audiences went to see it is because there was a huge lie that you need to see this movie in between Avengers Infinity War and this and that, because if you don't, you're not going to understand, Endgame. Because Captain Marvel has a huge role in the Avengers movie, and she's like she was in the Avengers movie, right? It was a huge, wool over people's eyes. Yeah. So they went and they saw the movie under pretense that, hey, this is important to the grand story of things, and it wasn't. But also it was a very anti-man movie. Like, they took like some famous characters, they gender swapped. The messaging of the film was all over the place. It was a mess. Right?
Yeah.
So audience saw that movie, and then they're like, oh, when a sequel comes out, we're not supporting it. Because they know what Brie Larson's like. Brie Larson has made a lot of movies and comments. Like, a lot of brand damages.
Yeah, she was also really mean when she was interviewing people.
So what happened was, the audience, the general audience, who don't go on Twitter, and they don't really use the internet very much, like, they just go to the movies. They enjoy movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how, like, I literally had 60 seconds a few minutes ago, and I completely ran out of time. Like, I don't get this at all. Like, I've literally been pacing myself and everything, and I just can't do this. There must be a specific way of going or something like that, because there's...
You want me to try it, or...
I don't think trying it is really going to help anything. Like, you need to know where to go. Like, this is almost like the forest maze in...
Fine, you want me to look it up?
Yup. This is like the forest maze in whatever, because I've actually gone through this. I've done tons of stuff. I found it. Never mind. There he is. I did it. Holy crap, I have no idea how I did that. I just kept persevering, but that was insane. Like, I see no way that you could do this without save states.
Invincible's coming to Fortnite in a little bit. Awesome, Geo. Thank you.
I have no idea how I did that. Like, I literally had 6 seconds left.
You did great, honey.
Found the scientist. Found scientist. So yeah, I mean, people like to make all these articles attacking people, but it really comes down to brand damage. So, like, Marvel has a lot of work ahead of them to try to fix things. And the question is, are they going to actually go and do the work, or are they going to keep, like, right now, the Marvel movie failed. Like, it is, Blue Beetle was, like, one of the worst performing superhero movies of all time, and I think the Marvels is now number 2, because Blue Beetle didn't clear 100 million or something like that, and the Marvels barely cleared 100 million. So it continues this year of flop films.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why Twitter is surprised, and even Hollywood executives, is because they believe that they could churn out whatever they want. They can put whatever messaging, they can put whatever content, and the audience has an obligation to go and see that. When they don't realize that without the audience, they're nothing. So general audiences saw the first Captain Marvel, and they're like, okay, when the sequel comes out, we know what we're getting. We're not going to go see it. It has, we don't like Brie Larson, we don't like the Captain Marvel movie, we don't want another finger-wagging, men are evil, blah, 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 underlining patriarchy nonsense. So, and the second movie apparently was going to be just that. Like, it was going to be a very female-centered, hating on men, all this other stuff. And then the new executive at Disney came in and said, we need to do reshoots, because this is bad. Like, we need to fix this immediately. So they went through a series of reshoots, and the movie is almost completely different than what the original director's vision was. If they ever release a director's cut for that lady who came in, it is going to be one of the worst movies ever because of its messaging.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be super divisive, just like the first movie, if not more. So they changed all that. It still failed. But the perception of that movie and what the audience believes is going to happen based on how Brie Larson's, like, what do they call that? When she was doing promotion for her films and the things she was talking about.
She was doing interviews.
Right. So she did brand damage through PR, and that's why people hate her. People are always like, why don't people like Brie Larson? It's because of the things she says that came out of her mouth during Avengers Endgame promotion, the Captain Marvel movie, and other things that just got people to dislike her. And then they tried to do a brand correction with her with PR. They had her wear, like, more revealing dresses. They had her act kind of bubbly and cute instead of, like, very strong, independent woman, very angry at interviewers.
And then they had her do that interview where she held puppies.
Yep, then they had her do they were trying to get people to be like, hey, she's going to be the face of the MCU, so you need to like her, and we're going to go. That's why they changed. If you go back and you look at her PR from the movie, 2 months before her film came out, and then during promotion of her film, she was wearing, like, pantsuits, and she's, like, being all weird, and it's like she's a completely different person. And then she appeared on Jimmy Kimmel or something like that in the cocktail dress. And then every interview after that, she's wearing dresses. She's acting girly and feminine because she was trying to, whoever became her PR agent was trying to repair her image. And it kind of worked, but didn't. So
trying to be more likable.
Right. Going forward, what Marvel needs to do is they have to change the mindset of the general audience to, hey, you can trust us again. It's not a, whoops, shame on us type thing. Fool you once, shame. That's where the audience is. They're like, aha, you fooled me once with Captain Marvel. I'm not going to the second movie. And it bombed. So now every Marvel project that people don't like, whether it was the Eternals, people saw the Eternals and they're like, okay, this movie's average. Then they saw Ant-Man. Ant-Man was terrible. And they're like, I don't know if I want to do this. Then they went to the Disney Plus shows. All the Disney Plus shows were going down for the Marvels because the audience is just like, they're tired of the messaging. They're tired of the storytelling. It's not what they signed up for, like when you had the peak Marvel films. They're not focusing on stories and characters anymore. So once they do that, then Marvel can course correct. But the problem is executives are always catering to a phantom audience. They're not going with their core. And DC did the same thing. And now DC is trying to course correct with James Gunn with the Superman movie. That's why every single actor who was cast in James Gunn's movie is comic accurate.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they're doing that.
They're trying to make it the way the original... Try to make them look like the original characters, how they were originally drawn a long time ago.
They're trying to correct their brand damage.
Yeah. Okay, so are we going to do this raptor attack thing again?
It's a T-Rex thing.
Oh, okay. And welcome everyone. Thanks for coming in. Hope you guys are having a good day. Yeah, we kind of got off on a little tangent, but it was kind of interesting to hear Luke talk about it.
All right.
No more bait and switch this cheat day.
Exactly. Because you just, if you focus on your core audience, they will love and respect you and they will consume product. But if you tell them, hey, the reason why the movie failed is your fault and not us as executives and not us as film crew, we're going to attack you guys because we're mad you didn't go and support our movie, then you've lost sight of your audience, and your audience is going to be like, screw you, we're going somewhere else. And then the Marvels is just, you're witnessing right now, Marvel has a choice. They're at the point now where the audience is not always going to watch everything they want them to watch. You need to put your big characters at the forefront again. You need to stop with all these side characters nobody cares about. You need to focus on good storytelling. You need to focus on good heroes. And you have to do things that are actually going to make the people who don't use social media interested in your product again. Or what's going to happen is you're witnessing right now, you're at a crossroads where either Marvel can take the right path and focus on the 98% instead of the 2%, or you can keep pandering to the 2%, and I guarantee you by 2026, Marvel will be dead. The comics will be gone, and the films will just be, that'll be it for superhero films from Marvel, because they're not going to go above 100 million, 200 million. They won't make back their money. So if Kevin Feige's smart, he needs to figure out a way of, you know, fixing that. And right now it doesn't look like they've learned their lesson, because they're going to bring in Silver Surfer as a woman. They're gender-bending Silver Surfer. When people wanted Silver Surfer to have a proper introduction in the MCU after the failure of the last Fantastic Four movies, they wanted a proper MCU version of Silver Surfer, and they're not going to get that. So that's going to make people real mad at Fantastic Four. Anyway, T-Rex Carnage reports have been coming in that the bad guys have destroyed the paddock fence containing the T-Rex. The T-Rex is the park's most dangerous dinosaur and will destroy anything that gets in its path. Stop it before it causes too much collateral damage. Ha! See what I did there? I thought it was clever. It's based on an Arnold movie. So, I mean, I'm not that smart. I understand how brands work. It's like, literally, I'm screaming at these companies like, the writing is on the wall. It's like, right there. You could fix this. But you're too prideful and arrogant to see what is literally right in front of you, and it's frustrating. Because I'm actually not a Marvel or DC hater. I want them to succeed, but I want them to succeed the right way. And it's like, the point where I am with superhero films and video games is I'm just tired, because it's like, you know what they need to do, especially with video games. Like, it doesn't matter if DC released average games. They could have had a stream of revenue over the past 10 years of anything. They could have made a so-so Wonder Woman game. It wouldn't have mattered. Based on the success of the Wonder Woman movie, they probably would have sold like 10 million or maybe 15 million copies, even if the game was just like AA, like completely average. It wouldn't matter. But they're so... what's the word I'm looking for? They're just so cowardice that they have starved their audiences and had them go to Marvel, because the only superhero game experience that DC fans can get is through Marvel, because DC won't get off their butts and actually make a game that we care about. They keep canceling projects. They don't care. Could have had a Superman game 10 years ago. Could have had a Wonder Woman game 10 years ago. We could have had another generic Arkham game probably 8 years ago. It would have been another Arkham Origins, but then you'd have like a fan base with Arkham Origins that are like, oh, it's the best, it's underrated. You'd have those type of arguments, but at least you would have had something to play. You know? It's utterly frustrating. So what happens when you starve your audience, Sweet Pea? Like, they go elsewhere. They don't wait for you and be like, oh yeah, we're here, we're gonna support the Suicide Squad. No, they're not. There's no Arkham fan base. You want to know where the Arkham fan base went? I'll tell you where they went. They went to Insomniac Spider-Man games. That's where they went. They're not going to be there for the Suicide Squad.
Well, honey, but it's okay because you don't work for DC, so it doesn't matter.
No,
if
I don't.
Bankrupt.
Well, what matters is, like, you know, I care.
I wouldn't care. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't affect me at all. I don't mind. It's just a comic book company. I mean, if they go bankrupt, they'll just probably... someone will buy them and they'll just re-energize again. I mean, I hope that James Gunn's universe does well, but I don't... You know,
well, I mean, just because he has perfect casting, it doesn't necessarily mean the movie's going to be good, because that's what people's complaint with Zack Snyder was. Zack Snyder had perfect casting, but people said his movies were kind of so-so.
I don't think his movies...
I think his movies were great, personally.
I think his movies were great.
I think he had comic accurate casting, and he had a good vision, and he should have been allowed to do his vision, but sometimes when you have, like, really great casting, like, look at Superman Returns. Superman Returns with Brandon Routh had an excellent cast, Very comic accurate and great talented actors, but they had a terrible story to work with. I mean, Superman literally fought a giant kryptonite island instead of like a big villain like Brainiac or something. You know? That's why those movies didn't succeed.
I mean, for me, I am a superhero. I think for me, I just don't even have the money to keep going to the movies anyway. Like, the reason I didn't see Blue Beetles, I didn't have the money to go see it. Like, the economy is just terrible with the pandemic, so I mean, I just don't... That's another reason why people can't really go to every comic book movie anymore, because people don't have the money. Tons of people are unemployed now because of the pandemic. They never got jobs again after the pandemic. And our finances fell after the pandemic because we had to let go of like everyone that was helping us.
Yeah, we had to fire all our staff.
Do everything on our own. So,
oops.
Everybody. I mean, I think, honey, it's, you know, I mean, in a way.
I mean, you represent the general audience in a way, Amber.
I don't represent the general audience. I'm not superhero fatigued. I am media fatigued. I'm reading books on tape at this point. I'm done with everything. I'm not just done with comic book and superhero movies. I'm done with watching TV. I'm done with everything. I have to work, I have to go grocery shopping, and I have a few minutes before I go to bed to listen to a book on tape, and that's all the time I have. So I'm done with everything. It's not just superhero fatigued. I'm going to the movies fatigued. You know what I mean? So that's just my personal opinion.
The one thing I'm noticing about this game that I actually never beat this game. I understand that what they were trying to do, like you're like this elite special force guy, like Commando, that's going in and killing all these dinosaurs, but have you noticed yet that every single level that you go into, outside of like that one time we went into the factory, which was interesting, the abandoned lab, every level that we're going to has the same music and it's the same jungle. It doesn't even look different than the jungle that you're dropped in the beginning. And I know this is supposed to be Jurassic Park Island, but there are other aspects of Jurassic Park Island that you could be like over in a volcano area, like a volcanic area where like some, you know, dinosaurs are, or you could be like in a cliff zone. They could change it up just a little bit, but I think the reason why this game got so reviews back in the day is I'm literally seeing with my own eyes, which, you know, back then, not in the 90s, but in the early 2000s when I was a critic, I would have marked this game down just from the fact that literally the aesthetic is the same. The gameplay is fun, but I mean, it's all the budget went into this level. This one area is repeated over and over and over again.
You've had a few people coming in saying, why are you playing one of the worst games ever made? You've had more than one comment of random people coming in saying
this game's not... The gameplay is great. It's just like, the game is... I mean, 90s games punished you because, you know, companies didn't have the money to keep, like... I mean, unless it was Ocean. Ocean printed out Jurassic Park games like it was a carnival ride. And just, like, every other... I think it was every, like, 8 months a new Jurassic Park game would come out. They would just be like, hey, you see that fighting game? Let's make a dinosaur fighting game. Will it be good? Ah, who cares? People buy it because it's Jurassic Park. You know, that's the mentality Ocean had. And LGN was the same way. LGN made like so many bad superhero games in the 90s and the late 80s. The games are terrible, but their mindset was, it's superhero, people will buy it. It doesn't matter if it's good. Look, it's got Spider-Man on the cover. People want a Spider-Man game. People went and bought it. Let's make an X-Men game. Well, what's it about? I don't know. Who can we use? What will Marvel Stan's like, you're making a Marvel game for NES? Great! Here's the characters you can use. I'm in the current comics run, we're using Nightcrawler and Colossus, and he probably was going to a spiel on the phone, and LGN's just kind of like, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right, well, we got the green light for that. You want to make box art for us, Marvel? It's like, yes! Excelsior makes the box art. Stan Lee plays the game. What's this? this is terrible.
Yeah.
But it's Marvel.
Yeah, I feel like games, I feel like older games it didn't really matter if you knew why you were doing something. Like, you were just, the character just dropped in on a world, you have random enemies to fight, you have a random place you have to go, and is there a story, is there a point to everything? It doesn't really matter.
No.
Like, a lot of older games I've noticed, like, a lot of times you don't even know why you're doing something, it's just there. And, like, I think we were completely fine with that. I mean, we were just thankful to have another game. I feel like they pumped out more games.
In the 90s? Yeah.
Yeah.
They did.
Like, and now they don't make as many games. Like,
Well, after the pandemic, they haven't made that many, but you realize before the pandemic, like, up until 2018, from 2010 through 2018, you would get, and I kid you not, there would be 35 new game releases a month. That included indie, that included AAA, AA, and A titles, as well as weird games. Now, a month you get, after the pandemic, if you just look at the Nintendo Switch alone, for their online service, you only see about, like, maybe for the entire month, there's about, like, 10 to 15 new games. And they're not, all of them aren't even really interesting. Some of them are just really bad.
Silver Sonic says this is actually not a bad game in any way, shape, or form.
It's just really hard.
It's nearly impossible without a lot of practice. The difficulty itself does not a hard game make. Oh, having it difficult does not make it, make it bad.
Yeah, a lot of people, when they see 90s games, they're like, oh, this game is terrible because it's so hard.
That comes from the idea of AVGN and some of the character YouTubers that were on it around 2006 and 2005.
Yep, you got it.
That actually got Luke into reviewing. That's what we were watching, was a wannabe AVGN guy. And I forgot his name, but basically we were watching his review, and that's what they did. That's the kind of reviews. They would take a game like this and they would say, oh, this game is so stupid, you can't even get by this part, and then they would just, like, break the disc in half and talk about how dumb the graphics are, and then say, oh my gosh, I can't believe people played games like this back then, what a stupid game, it's so bad. But in reality, the game, like Silver Sonic is saying, isn't actually bad. It's just difficult. But these kind of shock value, like, YouTubers back in 2005 and 2006, that's the kind of reviews they would do, because there was nobody else reviewing older games at the time. So there wasn't nobody able to correct them and say, actually, this game paved the way for games after it that were similar in this genre, and without games like this we wouldn't have actually had these other games that came after it. And actually this game did introduce some new game mechanics that had never been seen before, and for its time this game was actually pretty revolutionary, and also based on the system and the sound and the graphics card that they had, the game was actually pretty good, and it looked pretty good for its day. You just don't understand this because this is from a long time ago. You don't understand how this game was perceived when it actually came out.
I mean, I would actually love to, back in the day, I would have, like, done a retrospective of this to find out, because I still can't believe that this game actually had some of the best voice acting that was ever used on the Super Nintendo. Like, yeah, that to me is pretty impressive achievement.
That's why Luke started doing his reviews, because of those people back then that were doing exactly what people were saying in the chat. Random people coming in saying this game is one of the worst ever made. And I'm really glad Silver Sonic was able to explain, like, well, yeah, AVGN. I said AVGN copycats did that, though.
Yeah, I wasn't inspired by AVGN.
We weren't listening to AVGN. Yeah.
No, we didn't know. AVGN wasn't
like... he did actual bad games. Yeah, he does mention some good things in them. Okay, yeah. But, yeah, there was a lot of copycats of him.
We didn't actually... I didn't know AVGN's work until, actually, I was working with game trailers. Like,
yeah, we were watching copycats
there was a whole fad, which you guys missed probably, There was people like Rmake21, Spax, and all these other people that were angry game reviewers. Irate Gamer. No, Irate Gamer came later.
Oh, okay.
Irate Gamer came on the scene when I was actually doing video reviews for Got Game. Like, so I was already like a hired like video reviewer or whatever. No, he came 2 years after AVGN. So Irate was actually after me. Because I released my first video.
So it must have been another copycat.
I released my first video in 2007. Irate's first video was in 2008.
Oh wow! So we were listening. There were a lot of copycats of AVGN, but what they were doing was they were actually taking really good retro games and then making fun of their graphics.
What was really weird about early YouTube is AVGN, like, my interaction with his content didn't happen until actually I was making content. So, like, I found him, I think the first time I saw him was when I was actually working on my Batman month. It would have been 2008. And it was kind of like, okay, so this... And then I went back and it was like, oh, okay, this guy's been around a long time. He's here longer than Armake.
Yeah,
but
I think that it finally occurred to us that all these other people had been talking.
What YouTube did, which was kind of wrong to James, is in the beginning, like, it promoted, like, all these other people other than him. Like, he was the originator, and all these... This is what sucks about YouTube sometimes. And even if you're, like, one of the first Let's Players, like Amber and I, like, you don't get that type of recognition. Like, someone else comes in, and they might make content a little bit better than you, or whatever, and they might come, like, a couple years after you, but those people are seen as, like, the originators when you were the originator. Like, Amber and I literally were the first ever husband and wife Let's Play duo. We were the first... Actually, we were probably the first guy and girl Let's Players. Like, partners.
We were...
But we were... There were people who came after us that just shot past us. And they get the recognition of being the first when they're not.
We probably were the first guy and girl team ever on YouTube. We probably were.
Uh-oh. Oh gosh,
Let's Players.
What's happening?
There were girls and guys that did maybe you brought a girl or a guy on a podcast, but playing games together, co-op with, a guy playing co-op with a girl never happened on YouTube, and people let us know that too. They were actually very confused.
Yep.
Like they were upset. Like, our original comments section was filled with people being very upset. Like, I don't know why it would be upsetting, but they were.
How am I supposed to shoot you? What? What has happened? I'm shooting him. Why is he not dying? I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here. Like, I'm shooting him, and he ate my face. But yeah, just to get back to the thing. So basically, like, James was on YouTube, but they were doing all this promotional stuff for other people other than AVGN. So, like, there was this whole angry reviewer craze. And then I did the opposite. I did, like, practical game reviews.
Yeah, and I liked how you actually mentioned good things, and I liked how you did a section for good and a section for bad in your review. Like, bad things about the game, good things about the game. So I really liked that. And I thought that was interesting that Silver Sonic said that, AVGN did mention his good things about the game, if he had some good things to say. So that was nice.
Yep.
Thank you for the super chat, Twilight Alex. The best and still the best. Thank you, Alex. That's very sweet.
Does anybody know what I'm supposed to shoot this guy with? Because nothing I'm doing is hurting the T-Rex. At all. Could you look this up, Ambi? I don't know how to fight the T-Rex.
Okay.
Like, I'm shooting him with bullets, and nothing is happening. Ow! I fall off the car, I die. I shoot the T-Rex, I die. There's like... None of my guns work. I'm shooting him with everything here. Look at this. I'm literally laying into him with a machine gun here. Nothing's happening. There's no damage to the T-Rex. I'm getting shot by people. I'm just here literally wailing on him. And shooting. Oh. I have no idea what's going on. I think you just have to survive until you get to a place to jump. I don't know. Ow! I'm getting shot over and over again. Okay, so we're gonna shoot him like this.
I can't seem to find. It's doing another Jurassic Park 2.
It's called Jurassic Park II, Chaos something or another. I don't know. I think you just have to keep shooting him until he gets close to you, and then you change weapons.
Well, Jurassic Park 2.
I'm literally...
SNES.
Yeah, I'm hitting him with a bazooka. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just shooting him, I don't know. What?! I failed! I failed for shooting him! This doesn't make any sense. Alright.
Keep shooting his face.
Yeah, I'm shooting his face.
Keep shooting his face.
Okay.
This guy just keeps shooting his face.
Then you're supposed to jump. Okay, thank you, Silver Sonic. Alright.
Then you jump onto the vine.
Then I jump onto the vine and I get away. Okay, alright. So you're supposed to shoot him, duck, shoot, duck, shoot, duck, shoot, duck. Why are they working with the T-Rex? None of this makes any sense. Ouch! Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. I'm shooting him.
Make sure you look for the vine to grab.
Alright, let's save here so I don't do it all over again.
Oh, we didn't get the vine.
Try again. Ah! It happens so fast. All right. Nope. Haha! I did it! Wow. Okay, that was that. Yes, unable to stop the T-Rex, returning to base. I did it. Thank you for your help. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Get the power supplies of the incubators. The bad guys have cut one of the main power feeds to the dinosaur incubators. This could have dinosaur effects on your stock level. Repairing the power feed is too big. A task. You must collect the portable power supplier and attach them to the power's incubator. You must also stop the bad guy engineers from cutting any more power. This is just ridiculous. This is gonna be the same level again. Yes, it's in. They did a remake. Okay, it's the first level again, but this time you're inside of the factory. Oh, why? It doesn't make any sense. Okay. 2 hours, 6 minutes. Stop the power. Keep the power on. Oh man. Yeah. I wish I could show people the dinosaur game. So basically, Ocean was inspired by like things like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and Killer Instinct, and they're like, if it has a Jurassic Park name on it, people will buy it. So we're gonna make a Jurassic Park fighting game. It doesn't need to be good. It just needs to be made.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard and Alex and Just 22. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats. Thank you very much.
He hit me with a bazooka. It's not very nice. I love how all the dinosaurs are just randomly working with all the humans. It doesn't tell you why. It doesn't say mind control or anything. It's just like, nah. Even though dinosaurs would probably just like eat anybody that they come across, they're like, nah, these humans are friendly. They're on our, they're part of our crew somehow.
Maybe they're mind controlling them.
That would make sense if they like did a little blurb like, yeah, the reason why the dinosaurs are such a problem is because they're mind controlled. Oh, I see what I'm supposed to do there. It's probably gonna be dinosaur. Everybody loves the dinosaurs.
Somebody likes you.
Ever since we've gotten Link, she's started to become a lap cat, I've noticed.
she's like, I can be cuddly too. She's like, I can't believe you got a cuddly cat because I wasn't good enough for you.
That's not why we got a second cat, Zelda. Weirdo.
She's like, you're slowly gonna replace me and then give me away. Thanks a lot, jerks. No, that's not why we got you, Zelda. Why are you being like this?
What in the world? I hate time levels, though. The time levels are kind of annoying. Oops.
She's like, since that jerk Link has been around, I haven't gotten any wet food because Amber doesn't like standing there and being warden.
Well, I mean, they've been pretty good to each other, but I just want to know why Link randomly bites her. It's weird. Like, last night, after I was up working on that Spider-Man Try Not to Laugh video, and they were cuddling, and then Link, and like, randomly he started giving her a bath. I was like, oh my gosh, it's finally time for them to be friends. And in the middle of giving her a bath, he goes around and he bites her neck. Like he's a vampire, and he's just holding on to her, and Zelda's like trying to tell him, let go, let go. And then he didn't let go, and she did like, almost like this judo move. She like took her hind legs, she spun around, and she pushed him off the couch. And I was like, dang, you go, girl.
Good for her.
But then she like went after him like Wolverine with claws, just like and then like yelped.
I think we need a psychiatrist for our cat.
No, because I talked to my parents, and they told me that they have a girl and boy cat, and they fight all the time. Like, they just, you know.
It's not normal to be licking somebody peacefully.
Licking peacefully,
and
yeah.
then you randomly bite them.
Be like, I go in, I give you a kiss, and then all of a sudden I decide to punch you in the face randomly.
That's exactly what it's like.
It's like you let their guard down, like, hey, I'm hanging out, and now all of a sudden I'm gonna bite you.
You go in for a hug, but then you punch the person in the gut.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, fooled you.
Why would you do that? Link is such a jerk.
Maybe they do have mind control thingies on them. I don't know. I just saw this weird thing.
Like a little metal thing on their
Yeah,
head.
they're holding like a type of metal thing. I mean, this game is fun, but this game is brutal. Like, I mean, I love the fact that it has we actually have the ability to save wherever we wanted. Because, I mean, today we have games that have checkpoints and stuff like that. Like, it's a given.
Yeah, thank you for all the awesome comments, Silver Sonic, and thanks for being on the stream. I understand if you can't be on for a while. I know it's later for you.
I died how? Game over. Mission failed. Let me continue. Yes! I wish to continue, yes. The power. We're not doing very well. Alright, and you guys are close to getting another stream of this, so you just have to make sure that you get those likes up.
2 likes away. Go Luke, says Gio. Thanks, Gio.
Doing the best I can.
Yeah, so how about you guys? Have you guys been having are you guys on Thanksgiving vacation from work or school?
I mean, I think they're on Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
See, it looks like the dinosaur was carrying something in its mouth. Didn't it?
A lot of people in the chat were talking about different Marvel shows they like on Disney Plus. And some people were saying that they didn't like how all they were getting from Marvel is the Disney Plus shows.
Well, what you know that you're getting is basically they're going to do a soft reboot now, and I think they're going to use the Deadpool movie to give a soft reboot. I think that's the most logical thing, because they're doing an adaptation of the famous Deadpool comic book, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, so...
Yeah, I think... Yeah...
So basically what's going to happen is, the Deadpool movie, instead of killing the Marvel Universe, he's going to kill the, Fox Universe. Like, all those... It'd be like a epic multiverses movie, pretty much, and that's why Hugh Jackman and some other people are back. And the thing is, what people understand, because there are already some people saying right now that, oh, because the Marvels movie failed, the Deadpool movie is not going to do well. It's like, I don't believe that's the case, and the reason is because, again, it goes back to brand reputation. Like, the past Deadpool movies, you know, he gives you what he thinks the audience wants to see. Like, Ryan Reynolds is an entertainer, and he makes a product that he can be proud of. It's not just like, okay, this is a Marvel machine, I'm just going to pump out whatever is going to come. He's actually going to go through and he's going to put the time and the energy in to make a good product. And the people that have seen the 2 Deadpool movies, technically 3 because there was a PG-13 version, those were entertaining films that gave Deadpool fans what they wanted. And now people are going to get to see Wolverine and Deadpool not only fight, but also work together. It's like the ultimate buddy cop movie that fans have been clamoring for forever for Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. So of course, they're going to go and support that movie. You know, if the movie has some bad messaging in it, then that's probably going to turn off the general audience for the next Deadpool movie. But I don't know necessarily if the new Deadpool movie is going to make like $1 billion, but I think it'll make comparable what Deadpool usually makes. Deadpool usually does pretty well for the audience that they try to go for. They go for the R-rated audience, and they go for the people that want more mature storytelling. So I could see the movie probably doing like maybe 5, 4, maybe 600 million. It'll do much better, but I guarantee you what you're going to have is the same usual suspects that write films and stuff, or write about films. They're going to be like, see, it's like there was a problem with the Marvel formula is fine. It's like, but technically it's not a Marvel movie. It's a Ryan Reynolds movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think like when people try to force things, like then it makes the move, like when they just try to make a formula and they just try to force the formula and then think, oh, this formula worked last time for movies, so we'll just keep going. I think like the Marvel universe really didn't start with a formula. It started with that one movie, Iron Man.
Iron Man, right. It started with character.
It kind of started...
And then it introduced more characters.
And then they kind of asked other people from there. Actually, Robert Downey Jr. specifically, I believe he asked the actor himself who plays Captain America if he would like to be in the universe. So he made personal connections with people. It wasn't like a top-down thing. Well, some of it was, but some of it was personal, where they agreed to do this together. Like, they decided to work together as actors and be part of this universe and sign these big contracts. They decided they were going to work together and make this great universe. So it was a decision, like, with several actors together, that they decided they would be a team. So I think like you know, when you have a company that tries, I think when Robert Downey Jr. was actually physically going and asking some of his friends, you know, if they would want to be part of the universe, it's a lot different than having like Warner Brothers call you on the phone and then be like, you guys are working together, deal with it. So like I think like when people push people to do stuff and it's a formula and they tell people you're working together, I think it won't give that magic as much as, like you said, like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, people wanted them to work together. It seems like, I don't know if they know each other, but... Oh,
they've done movies together.
The fact that they... See, there you go. So they have the human element. I feel like if you don't have that human element, like, where you actually have talked to the person and you can understand them as another person, like, I think people can tell if a movie is forced, or if the people that are acting are having fun in the movie, or if they're not. I think that's a huge factor that I think is just missing. Like, I think that you really can't reboot the Marvel universe and just like force it. Like, you know, I think it's kind of magic that will never quite happen again, exactly how it happened last time. You're just gonna try your best to make good scripts and good movies, try to hire good people, and then if magic happens, then it will happen.
Yes.
Because you just can't force something like that. So I just think people trying to force everything and plan out the next 20 years, it's just ridiculous. I think they should just take it one movie at a time, honestly. I think that's the problem with DC. They were trying to copy something Marvel had, and Marvel didn't have Robert Downey Jr. I mean, DC didn't have Robert Downey Jr., and that's why...
No, they squandered their Robert Downey Jr.
They did have...
They had Ben Affleck,
They did have Ben Affleck,
a career high, and
guess
they underused him.
Yeah, I mean, he was their Robert Downey Jr. And
Basically.
And Ben did have good relationships with all those actors that I know.
Yep.
And also Zack Snyder had good relationships with everybody. All those actors. I mean, if he didn't have good relationships with them, then why would Ben come to redo his lines for free on his lawn or something with a green screen?
Yep, right in front of, yeah, that's an interesting story. So, Ben Affleck and the guy who played Cyborg and Ezra all showed up for reshoots in front of the garage of Zack Snyder. Like, Zack Snyder literally put the rest of his movie together on his lawn with a green screen. So he got
the fact that he made good enough relationships with them that they would come there and do that is I mean, that shows a lot.
That does show a lot. And a lot of those actors, that's why a lot of them are going on to Zack's new project, which is whatchamacallit? Rebel Moon or something like that. Basically, and Zack's already said it's like his version of Star Wars. Like, he loved Star Wars as a kid, and he's making his own Star Wars, basically. And what's probably interesting is his version of Star Wars is probably going to be better than Disney's.
I can't imagine it being worse.
Because now you have top profile YouTubers that were huge fans of Star Wars, and they just, before they were, I think they were at the phase of like, you know, I have a wait and see attitude. I don't think Star Wars can get any worse. I think Disney, you know, Disney's a great company. They're going to be able to take, they were basically in shock. They didn't realize where Disney was going to take their beloved characters. They were, I guess they had a wait and see attitude, but now you have like one of the biggest high profile YouTubers for the Star Wars fandom. Star Wars Theory is just like, I'm done with Disney Star Wars. He says the brand is being destroyed. He says, and you know, he was kind of an optimist before. He had like kind of like a, you know, I don't like the direction they're going, but it's still Star Wars. I mean, you can't destroy this brand. It's not possible. It's Star Wars.
Yeah, and I thought Robert Downey Jr., like, he also knew the guy. I thought he had a good relationship with the guy who played Rhodey as well. I thought they were pretty good friends off screen.
They're all, what people don't understand is the original 6 Avengers and even the Guardians, like, just about everybody, they have not a Snapchat, but they have like their own kind of like Skype service, like their own Avengers thing where they all talk to each other. Like, especially during the pandemic, they were all checking in on each other. When Hawkeye got hurt, like the original Hawkeye, when he almost died, when that snowblower fell on him, like all his original Avengers team were like staying in contact with him. A couple of them actually went to the hospital to see him when people didn't think he was going to recover. So I mean, they're kind of like a family, like that original cast. They're not just actors, like they made something great together. And I think, you know, the original Avengers team seeing the shape of Marvel, it kind of hurts them because, I mean, literally, they gave the keys to the. It's like an anime with a student council. Like they didn't have a student council, like, or a club before, and they made the club that the club would continue to operate as long as they continue to, you know, do right by the club and the club activities and stuff like that, and just like in an anime. And what happened was the people who kept, you know, passing on the keys to the next club members, is they just continued to do a bad job, and they gave the club a bad reputation. Yeah, and now the club is falling apart.
The problem is with Marvel, and I said it before and I'll say it again, so the guy who plays Sam Wilson, the guy who plays Sam, the new Captain America, he's a good actor, and he seems like a kind person, and he gets along with the guy who plays
Winter Soldier.
And so the two of them would be great at starting the new Marvel universe together, really. As Sam as Captain America would be the ideal choice as the leader of the entire Marvel universe. That should be the leader because he's Captain America. But where is this weird Captain Marvel feminist person coming in here being mean to everyone? Is just ruining the whole thing. If she just wasn't around, like, the Marvel universe would be fine. there's just like, there's no problem except for Brie Larson is just ruining everything. There's actually no problem because there's still a lot of great actors there.
And Chris Hemsworth is still there as Thor. Like,
yeah, so you've got Captain America as Sam Wilson as, I can't remember that guy's the actor's name because I'm really bad with actors. And then you have the guy who plays Winter Soldier, and I can't remember his name either. And you have Thor, and then you have, I don't know, I don't know who else is there, but
do you want to know what they should?
Like, there's still good people there. It's just they're choosing the wrong person to be the leader of the whole.
What they should have done
Avengers. It's just
is
stupid.
because I mean it's been way too long since the last Avengers movie. Like they haven't really done they've been doing all these solo movies trying to build up to some Kang dynasty thing that they were going to do, but now they're changing it and they're like, no, Kang is no longer the big bad of the story we were building up for 2 years, or you know, almost 10 years, like we were doing with Thanos. We're changing our mind. We're not doing Kang. We're gonna bring in Galactus now and have the Fantastic Four be the forefront of this new storytelling. So basically, all this stuff we've been telling you guys to watch over the past, I don't know, year or two, or several years.
I'm sorry, Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie, yeah. So all the stuff we've been having the fans do to try to get them up and ready for this Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars thing, Skrull thing. Yeah, we're going to throw that all out the window. And Galactus is going to be now the forefront as the major villain. Not Doctor Doom. We're going to do Galactus. And it's kind of sending ripples in their fandom, because they're like, wait a second, you were building up, you had the whole Loki show with Kang. You had Kang show up in Ant-Man and all this other stuff, and it was going to be a Kang Avengers movie with the Avengers finally coming back and taking on Kang, and now Marvel's just like, yeah, nope, the Kang stuff's not working well, the Disney Plus shows aren't working, the Skrulls thing isn't working. We're bringing in another high-profile villain. We're doing Galactus now. And people are literally screaming, do Doctor Doom, do Doctor Doom. And they're like, no, we're going to do Galactus again for our Fantastic Four movie.
Well, the main problem is you've lost so many actors. Yes, there are some good actors left, but so many of their actors, their contracts ran out all at the same time. Like, their contracts were for 10 years.
The contracts were 10 years, yep.
And so they're all done, except for, like we were saying, you guys were saying, Anthony Mackie, the guy who plays Winter Soldier, can't remember his name, and then Thor.
Thor's still around.
Chris Hemsworth. Of course, Thor's going to be around since
he loves the role.
Since Thor is an immortal character, so he's going to have to play the character for 50 years.
No,
Thor's never going to die.
No, Chris Hemsworth will be. They're going to reboot Marvel. Like the only course they have right now, like I'm telling you, these new characters nobody cares about. And the audience is proving they want to see Captain America, they want to see Iron Man, they want to see all this other stuff. And Disney's not giving them that, right? So the only logical thing for Feige to do at this point is he's going to have to reboot everything. He's going to have to start over again.
That's too bad.
Because Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hawkeye, you know, Ant-Man, these guys all have brand recognition. A lot of these other characters they're introducing, they don't work.
I feel bad for Anthony Mackie, and I feel bad for Sam Wilson fans, because then we never really got to see a lot of Captain America. Sam Wilson as Captain America.
He has a new movie coming out. But what they should have done immediately to get audience used to the new Avengers team after Endgame, like, how many years has it been since Endgame? Has it been 5 years?
I don't know.
I think it's been a while. So what they should have done is there should have been a principal Avengers movie with not like a big threat that, like, you know, would basically orchestrate like the next 10 years of the Marvel Universe. Just like have some like one-off villain that they could have like focused on trying to recapture the magic of the Avengers movie, and you would have had Anthony Mackie as Cap, you would have had Scott Lang as Ant-Man in the movie, you would have brought back Thor, you would have had probably the new Hawkeye, which is the girl, Kate.
I would bring back the Manchurian, but this time, instead of being a joke, he would like turn into like a real threat.
Oh, the Mandarin?
Or yeah, that's what I meant to say, the Mandarin.
Why
I
did
don't know why I said Manchurian.
Who the heck is the Manchurian?
I don't know. The Mandarin! The Mandarin! Darn it! I would have the Mandarin. The Mandarin, bring him back.
No, I think that a good villain for a Avengers movie as a one-off, to make fans happy again, is to basically bring back Taskmaster, but have some story about, just like what they did with the Suicide Squad, where they said, oh yeah, I killed the Pretender who was Deadshot. You have like some really high-profile actor play the real Taskmaster, and do a one-off, like, where they say, I thought the Taskmaster was female, and then he says something like, I took care of the Pretender, you know? Like, somebody was using my name or something, and you have, like, you have a real threat for the Avengers to go against, and, you know, them trying to find their rhythm as a team. Like, they actually have to work together. Some old Avengers, some new Avengers. And you just have, like, again, it's not... maybe you can connect it to, like, another movie in the future, if you wanted to, but... the important thing would be to get audience used to this new team, instead of just randomly, like, throwing them together later. Like, oh yeah, here's the new Avengers team. Did you watch all the Disney Plus stuff?
Right.
You know, it's like...
that's what I have a problem with, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch the Disney Plus stuff.
That would have been interesting, because...
I'm done with that, because it's so annoying. I never know what I'm getting with that, and I don't want to watch it anymore.
Right.
It keeps disappointing me.
But the problem is, you know, Kevin Feige's Avengers isn't really probably the Avengers that he wanted, because you can see a lot of Kathleen Kennedy in Marvel now. Like, a lot of her ideas from
so
Star Wars and
she's
other
still,
things.
like, got her hand in everything.
She's Disney. She's not just Star Wars. She's Disney.
Why did she take... I don't understand how she took over everything.
I don't know how she took over
didn't buy
everything.
Disney.
And she's been put in charge of a lot of stuff.
But why?
I don't know reasons.
But if she ruins everything she touches, why would they still pay her? If she's making everyone upset, I don't understand why. If she's losing so much money, it's losing billions of dollars. Why is she still in charge? Doesn't make any sense.
Yep. Alright. Did we... oh yeah, you guys got another stream of this. I think we're gonna end it here. We got some super chats. We're gonna start up the other stream in a little bit. The problem I have with this level is I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I have like a limited time to go through and basically find all these... I think I'm picking up bombs or research. I don't know. But there's so many... I think the problem with this level in particular, and a lot of this game, is they have so many areas that are exactly the same, but then they make them like a maze. Like, you're supposed to go through...
You can't tell where you are.
I can't tell where I am because everything looks the same. So the premise of this, from what I gathered, and what I can tell with my eyes, because I can see, is that we're supposed to be collecting these weird, strange boxes. And then after we collect these strange boxes, then the level will randomly end. But has anybody else noticed that where our Arnold Schwarzenegger character literally is right now is inside of the place that he actually, just probably a few weeks ago, literally filled with poison gas?
Yeah, so
Like,
why would he be able to go in here again?
He wouldn't be able to go in here without a gas mask. There's no way you could turn... like, that stuff would forever be, you know... Also, there would be, like, all these dead raptors and stuff. There'd be all this... that's why I don't like continuity
you'd have
stuff.
all those dead animals there.
And not just the dead animals, but there would be, like... what I would have done, you know, just to not confuse the player too much and maybe add a little bit of atmosphere to the game, right? It would be cool if you could see green mist on the ground, and then your character goes in and they just, like, put, like, a little mask on his face.
Yeah, like, for continuity.
Because, I mean, yeah, you're lazily going to go back and revisit the same levels, right? But you change it up just a little bit to be like, aha, yeah, technically this is the same level you were in. But look, you remember where you came here? You put poison gas. So you're going to have to go back into this area, and now you need to find this important gadget. But don't worry, we got you covered. There's a gas mask. And then you and the enemies, you know, have, like... they could even put all the enemies in hazmat suits. Just...
yeah, totally.
that way, you're not, like... literally playing the same level over again. It adds a little bit of atmosphere to it. It's like, yes, it's the same level. Literally, you're back in the same place. but everything that you did in the game actually happened. So you did set off all the gas in the factory, an hour ago, but there it is. You can see the green mist, but they're just like, nah, you're just going to revisit levels. We're not going to do anything to change it because we're cheap. Same gameplay, same everything. Every once in a while, you'll fight a giant dinosaur. But we'll be continuing this tomorrow, guys. It'll be part 2 of Jurassic Park SNES. As we are back in the creepy factory.
We got 150 likes.
We got 150 likes. For whatever reason, the stream did not get 1,000 views, but it did get super chat, so that's why we're able to end. In about 15 minutes will be the Culex fight, so look forward to that. I'm going to be speed running that, and then there's a special Spider-Man stream tonight. So thank you guys so much for watching. You'll be redirected to the Super Mario RPG, and Spider-Man will also be tonight as well, and Amber will be doing a Ultimate stream on something. So yay. All right, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching, and catch you on the next stream, which will be at 7:15. All right, guys, God bless, happy gaming. Thank you.
See ya.
Whoops, I messed that up.